kick to the gut.
I like it.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Mister Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. How are you, Mr. Young?
I'm good. I had a very good long nap this Monday afternoon. I know for most of you working, you're like, oh, you're Mister Young. Such a luxury to be able to nap. I agree. It is a privilege, but you know, with privilege comes sacrifice. I still have to wake up at 5 a.m. for work, but that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about wrestling, people. Wrestling.
Yeah, man, to be fair, Mr. Young, you work at early morning shift on your radio show, so it's all good, man. It's all good. I just had a good lunch. I was just reading through some Money in the Bank notes as well, making notes, you know.
Oh my god. Wow, macam like we are professional, no?
Unlock, bro, come on. This podcast has been what, our baby for what, 4 years already?
That's true. Bro,
we're professionals already.
4-year-old, no, the baby crawling around. Let's say hi to chat, by the way. Tovakin, who says, let's go. Irvin says, let's go. Foreign, that's you. Say, Lego.
that's my tagline, bro.
Rishi Edison is good to see everybody. Yes, we'll get to the Money in the Bank review in just a bit. Controversial ending, huh?
Very controversial. You know what's even more controversial?
What's that?
The fact that Money in the Bank took place on a Sunday morning instead of Monday morning. It screwed up with our timeline, bro.
I know. Literally, people are like, huh? Really? It's tonight. A lot of people didn't realize it. And is this on the WWE or is it just us because we, live in a different time zone? Whenever they say dates, we automatically think, it's different, so we didn't pick it up.
What do you think of the fact that the WWE held a show on for them Saturday night, Sunday morning for us, and in the same city that UFC was promoting an event just across town? How do you feel about that?
Not just the same city, but like the same timing, everything. They finished earlier than the UFC, right? And that's why that photo of Vinnie Mac. And also, I didn't know how Pat McAfee was so close to the family. Like, he's literally sitting there. Is he like the third McMahon son or something? Or
bro, he's their new JR. He's their new JR, bro.
Right? Yeah. Like, he's there with the... Yeah, he's there with the neck brace and everything, selling a beat down by Baron Corbin, apparently.
Yes, apparently that happened in the post-show, so nobody watched it, but it came out on the WWE YouTube channel that, Baron Corbin not happy. So apparently, Baron Corbin stole Theory spotlight.
Hey, the man is keeping kayfabe, and if Vince McMahon respects anything, is keeping kayfabe and knowing how to get attention. This fella knows how to get attention.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the thing is about WWE is like they're all about getting in people and signing people that brings them attention, if you know what I mean.
Yes, and we will get to that in just a little while. Irvin says he's watching the stream from his holiday. Hey, happy holidays, bro. So glad you could join us. Where are you? That's the question. Yeah. Are you like on some beach in Bali or something?
Yeah, bro. Even if it's at Batam, just tell us, bro. We just want to imagine how it feels like to be on a holiday right now.
Tovakin is all about the ass boys, by the way, and the Acclaim. He's like, Sesame, daddy.
Bro, Tovakin, you know what? The Acclaim is one of my favorite things on AEW right now. I can't help but be entertained by them.
Too bad they fucked them up as well, and we will get to that in just a bit. All right. Yes. In the meantime, how was your weekend, bro?
Well, what happened during the weekend? Yes, so Money in the Bank was on Sunday.
Money in the Bank, yes.
Caught up with a couple of my friends because you know what? I think I told the rest of the audience last week, but Foreign is going to reservice at the end of the week. So I a bit like Sian, must do all the reservice shopping, shop, prepare all the stuff, high key events. So like not in the mood, bro.
Yeah, but it's all good. It's something we all have to deal with, at some point, so might as well just get it over and done with. In the meantime, of course, we're here to talk about so many things, but before we do, we have to very quickly mention our sponsor of the show. Woo! Mr. Nick Matt actually sent us a new photo today, bro.
New photo was update also.
Before we show you the new photo, right? Nick Matt, of course, if you are looking for property to buy, sell, and rent, bam, right there, you see his QR code. Go screenshot that. Go take a photo of it right now so you know exactly how to or who to reach out to when that time comes. It might not be now, but it might be in the future. And you can follow him on Instagram also.
Yeah, for sure. We know the great thing about Kick to the Gut is we're trying to connect wrestling fans, regardless of what they work as, regardless of what business that they do. If you want to support a business, why not support a business of a wrestling fan? You know what I mean? So that's the best thing.
And my point of, look, at some point in time, you will need to buy, sell, or rent a place, right? Because, despite what people might think about wrestling fans, we also need to live in a house. We are not homeless bums. Okay, we are not pathetic homeless bums. We need a place of dwelling, and Nick Matt is the man if you need that sort of situation.
Bro, who gave you the impression that we are homeless bum? I mean, we're all well-adjusted adults. Just happen to enjoy wrestling, bro. Come on.
Look at some of us, the way we dress. Alamak, okay. Let's not go.
Who are you talking about, bro? Tell me how you really feel, Mr. Young. Come on.
No. There is no reputation that wrestling fans have.
Oh, come on. Okay. But the best thing about Neymar is he told me, he said, bro, don't worry, every week I'll provide you guys new content to talk about my. So
new
what
content.
What about this week, bro?
Yeah, we always talk about him being a wrestling fan, and we've shown you this photo with Kenny Omega, right? Hey, he's not just AEW fan, okay? The man he solved a very recent problem of SmackDown. Okay, SmackDown has a huge problem, and he is the man. Of all people, like we talk about how he's very handy, right? He has solved SmackDown's problem. The problem of Butch. He found Butch!
Oh my god. Oh no, that's not Butch, bro. That's Pete Dunne. Where has he been, bro? I haven't seen him in a long time. Come on.
In fact, you know what? He solved the Butch problem and made him better. He found Pete Dunne.
Yeah, bro, you know what? This photo looks like almost like it's Photoshop, bro. But I can vouch, this really happened. Because was it 2017 or 2018 when Pete Dunne came to Singapore for an SPW event?
That's
did
right.
a meet and greet, the whole shebang. And apparently he very, very brave, this Nick Matt. He let Pete Dunne put him in a sleeper hole. What's up with that?
Yeah. I mean, next thing you're going to tell me is he let him snap his fingers or something, you know?
Hey, come on. Do you know the stories about all the Japanese fans where they pay money for the wrestlers to freaking chop them or kill them or what?
Really? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, you should see a video, I think, on the Bullet Club. I think in Japan, I think they got Finn Balor or what?
What?
Got like some Japanese fans, they have sponsors, right? Pay them money to like let them chop them in the chest and all that. It's a thing.
Why? Well, I guess, they're fans of all kinds, right? Like some people pay money to sniff used panties. Some...
What?
Wait.
What's
Do we
going
need...
on?
Is that... I'm just talking about fans being super hardcore to a point where, hey, are there wrestlers out there that sell their undergarments? Especially after they've wrestled. So there's the funk. We're not talking about Terry. We're not talking about Flash. We're talking about just the funk. The funky smell.
I didn't know our podcast gonna enter the deep dark holes of the internet, but sure, Mr. Young.
Bro, this one is the backside of the ring, not the dark side of the ring.
I'm so sorry, Nick Matt, for our segue.
Bro, I'm on a roll this morning. I just woke up. I'm very fresh. I have a lot of funny things to say. No, I'm just messing around. At the end of the day, wrestling fans, we love to goof around about the product that we love so much, right?
For sure. So, like I said, if you want to support a great guy who loves wrestling as well, he said, come on, guys, just follow him on his Instagram at the very least. So 65 Roofs, at 65 Roofs on Instagram. Check out what he does, check out his content. And you never know, if you need a guy, property guy, there's your man.
Yeah, absolutely. You can always hit !sponsor and get his links. So his phone number is in there, his the link tree, so you can find like his Facebook and Instagram all there. Like I said, just follow him. You never know when you need a guy who will buy, sell, and rent your property and fix wrestling in 2022.
Man. Bro, speaking of sponsors, I want to give a shout out as well, because if you guys know, the listeners know, the last 2 weeks we've been doing a fundraiser.
That's right.
To raise money for the people in Cambodia, building rural houses with base camp at the base camp IT. And volunteer building Cambodia, right? I'm very happy to announce, guys, not only have we met our goal of 5,000, we've exceeded it, bro.
Woo, let's go.
So
nice.
Shout out to everyone. Well, we talk about giving cameos for those who donated minimum $20. The problem is, again, all of you keep giving anonymous names, bro. Who's Cody's Peck lah?
Right, Peck. You know what it is? The wrestling fans, they just want to help out a good cause. They don't need anything from us, which is great. But for those who donated 50 or more, we are sending you those Kick to the Gut mugs as well. We've ordered a few already.
Yes, the Kick to the Gut mugs are already here at my house. So I'm just waiting to deliver them to the people. So whoever anonymous, again, please tell us what's your name and your address. I can actually send it out to you and or give it to you personally. And yeah, I'm very more than happy to pass it out to all of you guys.
Absolutely. Let me try to throw up the link for Nick Matt. I think the bot fell asleep. again.
Oh no, what happened?
These things happen, like, if you've been
Yeah.
streaming enough. But in the meantime, okay, let's get down to the business at hand, which is
Yes.
wrestling, right? So Money in the
Oh.
Bank, that was yesterday morning.
Yes.
Actually, did you guys watch UFC as well, 276? I really wanted to, but I just ended up being so busy on Sunday. But did you manage to catch any of it?
I only caught a bit of the main event only because people were suddenly tweeting and putting out
Yes.
like, oh my god, this Israel and Adesanya just did a Undertaker entrance. I was like, how the hell do you pull that off in UFC? But sure, I'll check it out.
Well, obviously he's a WWE or WWF fan to pull that sort
Yes.
of reference. I saw the picture, the urn that he was holding, like, you know how Undertaker would hold an urn, right? Or Paul Bearer would hold an urn. He held his own urn, and the urn was the Cannonier's name.
Yes, he had the name of his opponent as well. So, very cool. And I think probably the fact that Vince is in attendance, probably WWE gave the go ahead. So, anything to promote like WWE and cross promote, right? So, I thought it was pretty cool. But then, bro, can I just say, bro, the entrance was more entertaining than the match itself.
Oh no, I haven't watched it. Don't spoil the. Well, I mean, I know who won already, but like, really, it wasn't a great match. It was boring.
Okay, bro, if anyone is on the chat who watched it, like let me know whether you agree with me. But like it was like boring as heck. He won, sure. But it was like some people were making jokes about people falling asleep and how the entrance was more entertaining than the match. So I kind of agree because I just watched a couple of rounds and I'm like, okay, this is boring. There was no knockouts or no anything crazy. So that's what you can expect, lah.
Yeah, but I think a lot of casuals, I suppose is the term, they expect like the knockouts, the big subs, that kind of thing, right? Obviously, like I said, I haven't watched it. I'll probably try to watch it tonight to make a judgment for myself. But I think for a lot of fans, casuals, they don't get the nuances of, when they're grappling too much on the ground, you start hearing boring shit like, pick him up and hit him again. Like it's very easy when you have, a full human being on top of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why you should watch wrestling if you want the entertainment part. You want to watch just fighting, it can get boring.
Well, then again, sometimes wrestling doesn't really deliver. And then you have, okay, all right, let's get down to it then. Since we've sort of opened the door, not the forbidden door this time, let's start with the bloody door, the blood and guts war games. Not blood and guts.
It's crazy, bro. Like the news cycle in wrestling so fast. Remember how last week we were talking about forbidden, we were all in about AEW, suddenly we're like, hey, alamak, Money in the Bank is happening this weekend. What's going on? So now, Money in the Bank is in the rearview mirror. It's almost as if blood and guts felt like a long time back, but it's just last week. Yeah,
you know what the problem is now, though? Because of AEW's presentation of their product, right? Every week there's sort of like it's the same thing. So they've basically settled into this, like how WWE every week is the same few matches. It's just kind of very monotonous, right?
Yeah.
Whereas AEW is kind of doing the same thing but with over-the-top action. So it's like an arcade game. The problem is there's too much of the same dives, same like dangerous moves, same dangerous spots every single week to a point where it's also boring. It's also like, oh, okay, this again, this time with more blood. And
isn't that the issue with Attitude Era as well? Like that last time it was too many dangerous stunts. This time it's just too many, like it's just throwing all the main event things out the window as well.
Yeah, and is it any wonder that so many of their guys are injured?
Yeah, that's true. But that's the thing. But I would say that's an industry-wide problem though, because WWE as well is having an injury issue, and I don't think it's because they're doing crazy stunts as well.
But it's not as bad as AEW at all, right? And okay, you don't talk about crazy stunts. Like, okay, what are the major issues? Cody Rhodes, that one is sway. Randy Orton, he's been like, he's had injuries here and there, and he's been sort of active for very long, and he's getting older, so
he needs a break.
Yeah, that one is also a bit sway, right? And the other injury is, a stupid spot, a suplex on the floor for no reason in a TV match.
This is for who?
Big E.
Oh, Big E, yes, the one that caused his neck injury,
break, right? Like, there was literally no stakes in that match.
Yeah, I saw what happened to Rhea Ripley that caused the injury. It was the most stupidest thing. It's almost like a botch. Apparently, it was like a suplex, and her leg kind of hit the ropes, and the knee kind of ricochet right into her teeth lah.
Yeah, but see, that one is sway. That one is,
Sway.
it happens in pro wrestling, right? But
Yeah.
over on AEW side, they are going out of their way to do shit that sometimes don't even look that bad, but they're
Yeah.
putting their bodies at risk. Isn't the whole point, and I believe Jim Cornette brought this up, isn't the whole point to be safe but make it look painful? Now AEW doing the exact opposite. They are doing shit that looks fake with the chops and the slaps and the elbows into the crook of the neck that, look like they're massage. Like, fuck, I go to the Thai masseuse, they do this, I feel shook. Only, And that's all I do, by the way. My wife is in the next room. She started listening because I talk about Thai masseuse. But, when you do, the Thai masseuse, they use the elbow.
Yes,
If I can take that, it's like, what am I watching here? You know what I mean? So, over in AEW land, they're doing all this crazy shit. It's not even a pay-per-view, and they're hurting their guys.
The issue as well is like some of them, like you said, it's very inconspicuous, right? Santana, for example, at Blood and Guts. Apparently, he was just doing like a comeback sequence, and his knee buckled.
Oh.
So this one, and I know Santana is not like doing crazy dives and shit. That one really sway. But yeah, like you said, like the rest of them, like I have no idea what's going on. Sometimes they overdo it. Sometimes they try so hard to steal the show, but they're not being safe.
Tovakin says that's what they call it, the hammer and anvil elbows. Yes, this one into the neck. You see, because they want to be safe, so they can't do it to the head, or so they like massage the shoulder. Which I'm sorry, it's just like the chops, it's just like the forearms. It looks like dog shit.
Yes, indeed. But again, like very sweet. But here's the thing, I just still don't understand why they did Blood and Guts right after Forbidden Door. I feel you're not spreading out your events, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing. So you had a bloodbath in your main event, and then not even the next night, not even the next week, it's a few days later, you have the same thing, but more people bleeding. And then you have to up the ante, right? So you got thumbtacks, you got broken glass, you got rubbing alcohol, you got removing the mat, you got, Jesus Christ. Remember when we watched the first ever War Games, how we enjoyed it? And the only real gimmick was the cage.
Yes, correct. And like the great thing about the War Game was it's very storyline driven. It's always like there's a feud going on between like one guy and another guy, and it plays around to that. Okay. But what do you think about the fact that it actually took up the second hour of Dynamite? The entire match was an hour show.
I didn't mind it. It had to have, that sort of spot. So it's not going to start Dynamite, right? And can we talk about the rest of Dynamite first?
Yes. Let's dive right into it.
Can we talk about the criminal? You know what? Tony Khan should be put in jail. All right, for letting Orange Cassidy go over Ethan Page.
Yes, we've talked on this podcast about how much you are fans of Ethan Page, right?
Did Ethan Page sleep with Tony Khan's wife or sister or mother or something? Like, why is it this guy can't catch a break? He has the look. He's a smarmy heel. He can work on the mic. He looks like $1 million. And he loses to this skinny joke character. He beat him with a body slam.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So the thing I didn't understand was why the hell they keep going for the body slam throughout the match. And then I just realized, alamak, are they trying to pay homage to Andre the Giant and Hogan because they are in Detroit?
Right. Okay. So it is the age-old story of he's trying to. That was the story of the match, right? He wanted to pick him up to body slam. He cannot. But Ethan Page is big and jacked, but the size differential is not that big. It's not.
Yes.
It's not Hogan, Andre. It's not Jericho, Big Show.
Yes.
It looks like shit.
Yeah. It was a bit. I would say it's misinformed the way how they try to go about the match. Again, Ethan Page is too good to be like a lackey for Scorpio Sky. Too good to just be some jobber. He can easily, like I said, challenge for titles right now.
Mm-hmm.
He got the charisma. I would dare say he has the same promo ability as MJF, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just that he's just been saddled with the worst shit, and I don't know why he's there agreeing with it. Is he just, or maybe he's just that guy who's okay with it?
The thing I was very interested in was like why they only hired him. Because when he was in Impact, he was actually a tag team champions with this guy called Josh Alexander. They were called the North. So it was like he was solely a exclusively a tag team guy. So when he went to AEW, I thought he was gonna flounder. But then I realized, oh shit, this guy can even be better as a singles guy.
And now with the roster bloated even more with ex-WWE guys who have the look, can work, and all that kind of stuff, he's gonna get, well, as we can see, completely lost in the shuffle. He's jobbing to the mascot.
He's gonna be the Bobby Roode of their division.
Yeah, which is very sad because we know how much talent that these guys have, right? So
yeah.
But to just job him out in this unceremonious fashion, it's like, oh, I got so annoyed with that.
And like, I don't know about you, but Orange Cassidy, like, I felt when he was at his like peak, right? Like he was at his most over was when he worked with Jericho, right?
Yeah.
And then remember after he beat Jericho, then for some reason they just slid him back down the car and acted like nothing happened.
Yep.
Completely destroyed the momentum. Suddenly now they want to treat him like a big star again.
Yeah, and then he came back and beat Adam Cole. He's beat Ethan Page. It's like I don't know what they're doing. He doesn't pass the eye test as well. Like you know what I mean?
Yes.
None of it makes and it's not like he's some sort of technical wizard, right? It's not like he's being presented like, oh, he's skinny, but he has a lot of grit and he's very technical, so he can wrap you up in holes and make you submit. No, he's just a guy doing big guy moves, but he's skinny and he like
his orange punch is like making fun of Roman Reigns like that, you know?
Yeah, I guess, but this is akin to Gilbert beating The Rock. Or okay, maybe not The Rock. Like Gilbert beating Eddie Guerrero before Eddie Guerrero was like, main event.
Then what do you say about people who thought that his match with Will Ospreay was like the best match on the card at Forbidden Door?
They need to calm their tits down. All right, it was a good match. It wasn't like, oh, it was the best match. Oh my god, it's just AEW fans or Orange Cassidy fans jerking off to their own like fantasies,
Yes, indeed. Orange Cassidy again, very divisive guy.
Yeah.
Even with the new theme song and all that, like I'm trying to understand like what's the appeal, but okay lah. I just look, Orange Cassidy is just like there lah. He's just there.
I'm not saying he doesn't have a place in AEW. Don't get me wrong. The Attitude Era had a Hurricane. They had Crash Holly. A comedy act works, yes. And at some point, if you get the right combination, you can push the comedy act, to have finally a big win over a main event star, like when Hurricane beat The Rock. Remember that?
Yes. But the story needs to be told.
Yeah, it has to be a one-off. Now, Tony is portraying him as a world beater, as a main event guy who can beat all these guys who clearly look like they're better than him. So what are you doing? Best booker of 2022 shit.
It's like if Hurricane was challenging for the world title at all times regularly and like seriously, like people look at him like, yeah, he's like, acting like he can actually do it, then that's not realistic for sure.
Yeah. Well, this whole thing is work. At the end of the day, with his post-match scrums and all that, there is a reason why WWE doesn't do it and UFC does it, because UFC does it because it's real, right? Like pro wrestling, you do a post-match scrum and they're all there talking about how I love working with this guy. I'm like, no, stop. It's kayfabe. At the end of the day, it makes sense. We need to keep the storylines or the image up. At least try.
The only one that actually did a good job in the post Forbidden Door scrum was Jay White. You see?
Yeah.
He was just like shitting on the people for like not taking care of his title. But like that's the reason why if you do that to like further storylines, I think New Japan did it better because they're still in character. But like I agree with you, when FTR was on the scrum, they were talking about like how they came up with the theme song. They were like geeking out about the theme song and all that. I'm like, no, not really.
Tovakin actually likes the post-media scrum. You like Tony Khan making a fool out of himself, is it?
You will like it because you get insider stuff. I think that's the only appeal.
Yeah,
but again, counterproductive, right?
Yeah. So once again, you are catering to the smart inside fans who, or think they are one step above everybody else, right?
Yeah.
And I know the insides and outsides. And Tony Khan is obviously catering to that sort of fan. But at the end of the day, like as the casuals, if you are conditioned to know that everything is a work, then you're less and less likely to want to watch what.
Yeah. Again, we shall see how they go, but it seems like a staple for AEW to have this post-media scrum to talk about how great they are, pat themselves on the back. they need to get real journalists inside. So that's my question. If they have real journalists in the media, like asking, like, I think this is a waste of time. What happened to MJF?
Yeah, they're not going to get ESPN or like actual new. They are just wrestling website. Basically marks lah, and he caters to the marks. So anyway, Julian, how you doing, man? Welcome.
Hello. Bro, next time kick to the guy who attend the press conference, bro.
Okay, if he sends a plane to fly us over to wherever the heck they are. Look, let's move on from the Luchasaurus. I mean, not Luchasaurus, the Orange Cassidy stuff. At least the next stuff was really, really good. Talking about Christian Cage being a heel.
I've missed Christian Cage. Christian Cage, huh?
No, and now he's. I mean, you remember WWE times. I never watched his Impact stuff, right? But WWE time, he was more of a whiny baby bitch heel.
Slimy kind of guy. Yeah.
Now he's like slimy, very subtle, but can be such a bastard sort of heel.
A bit sinister, so.
Yeah, and freaking dressing up with like turtlenecks and everything. Wow,
He really like high and mighty, like
you know what he is? He's a Bond villain.
Yeah.
He's a Bond villain. That's what he is, right? And his whole thing. Okay, well, it's still early days. We don't know what the deal is with like Luchasaurus. Why he suddenly became Christian Cage's pet. I guess we'll have to let it unfold. Yep. But beyond that, Christian Cage as this heel going up against Jungle Boy, who hopefully will teach Jungle Boy a thing or two. I think that's only good.
Hopefully elevate him, make him the babyface he was supposed to be, like going on 3 years already. One thing I like about Christian Cage is that, like you said, when he was in his WWE run, right? Yep. Even his 2011, I don't think you remember that, but he had this rivalry with Randy Orton. He kept going on, like, I just want one more match. He kept begging for rematches. It was, like you said, very annoying, whiny kind of heel, right? Here, I feel like, I think maybe it's the experience talking as well. He has this sense of like presence about him. Like it's like you said, this kind of, he's a bad guy and he's also dangerous as well.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he realistically is old enough to be Jungle Boy's dad. And I love that he is hitting on the mom, which is fucked up but entertaining somehow.
Tovakin says Christian used the dragon flute to summon heel Luchasaurus. Is that a Pokemon reference?
I think this is a Power Ranger reference. You know the Green Ranger?
Oh, okay. Right.
Then he summoned the Megazord. Is that what it is?
Luchasaurus had a match with Serpentico. It was okay, fine. It was whatever. It was a
how do you feel about his like new attire?
It's cool. It's better than what he was doing before.
Yep.
Anything that he's having short squash matches, good. So he doesn't expose himself. With his greenness and stuff like that, I think that's fine. So Christian Cage saves this whole thing. It's like Christian always has some big guy with him. If it's not Tyson Tomko, it's Luchasaurus. Who else has he had?
Yeah, no, it's funny though. Like Jurassic Express has run its course for the longest time, in my opinion, right? But there's also a very loud opposing opinion who said that they love Jurassic Express. They're one of the most popular tag teams in the company, and they're sad that this ended up like that.
Who are these people?
They are, bro. Go check Twitter, bro.
We all know Twitter is just a bunch of trolls. And like hardcore, die-hard wrestling fans. If you ask the casual audience, they probably don't even know who the tag team champions were for months and months and months on end.
Yeah, definitely. Come on, we were talking about how Jurassic Express is like the 4th, 5th, or 6th most important tag team in the division right now.
Even though they were champs. And then you follow something good with, once again, something bad. You got Danhausen, another gimmick fella hanging out with the big boys. So Danhausen, FTR versus Max Caster and the Gun Club. And okay.
I was a bit worried that FTR was in this match because I was like, why are they associating themselves with Danhausen? Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, look, man. You look at the Gun Club, right? You see two guys who obviously have been learning from their dad. They have their dad's mannerisms, their ability to sell, they're physical AF, they look amazing. So give Austin and Colton like a few years, they could be a top heel tag team.
Yeah, for sure. They can even like go out on their own and be their own man. And from the way they talk and their charisma, and they have it.
Well, and here's the thing too, like their recent pairing with the Acclaimed, right? I'm like, okay, I actually quite dig it because what's that fella who's injured? Anthony Bowens.
Bowen.
Yeah, he's injured, right? So Max Caster, of course, really good raps, very interesting on the mic. The Ass Boys, their mic skills not really there. Whereas Max Caster, his wrestling skills not really there. So they sort of complement each other, if you think about it.
Yeah, they kind of bring each other up in their own different departments lah.
Sesame Daddy!
Okay, but the thing is, like you said, at first I thought they were just hangers on to the Acclaim's act. But I feel like you're right. The Gun Club are better in the ring than the Acclaim, in my opinion as well.
So they've brought each other up. But, of course, this is typical AEW. Once you have something good, nah, fam, nah, we gotta take it away from you. We have to turn them against each other. So okay, it was a screwy finish, right? Like Anthony Bowen suddenly can stand up. Wow. So
this is no Linda McMahon, huh?
No, there's no Linda McMahon. But so he's been milking the injury, right?
Yeah.
So instead of using this moment to get them a title shot, to get them something big, he wastes it on a botch, as in quote unquote a planned botch. Like he swings, the other guy ducks, and he hits his own partner.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, you just threw away something that could have been something, and wow, it is what it is.
Yeah. You know what? If they had played it right, like you said, they attacked FTR at the moment of weakness with the crutch. Like even if that causes a disqualification loss or what, right? Now they are in the directly opposing with FTR.
Yep.
Right?
They're up there.
It's a new tag team in like contention with the titles. Even though FTR has like other big rivals, but suddenly now the Gun Club, the Acclaim is taken more seriously. Okay, I'll bring them all up, but instead, like you said, they disintegrate this tag team when they shouldn't, when it's too early.
Yeah, so I guess next we'll have the Acclaim versus the Ass Boys, but Billy Gunn is in the corner of the Acclaim. Like,
That makes sense.
Okay, whatever. So yeah, they shat all over the bed with that one. I skipped Jade Cargill versus whoever, Layla Gray.
Yeah. Well, Jade Cargill essentially squashed her again. But then this Layla Gray is apparently now part of the baddie as well.
Oh, so it's like the BCC lah. So you got to fight first, then you can join the club.
Well, a bit. I mean, a bit of the nuances. I won't bother to explain because it's so long and annoying. But yeah, she's replacing Red Velvet lah. Apparently,
Red Velvet is injured, right?
Yes, correct. So now they can't just have one time the Kiera Hogan. It's not really a baddie section if you only got one girl.
Sure.
They paid up a bit lah.
Why can't they get a bunch of jobbers or like no names, to sort of like make it look like there's more, but actually they do nothing one.
Like the Dark Order lah.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because it's supposed to be a
Order.
baddie section. It's not a stable, quote unquote, because it's Jade Cargill and a bunch of jobbers, right?
Yeah,
So,
you know what? Put the people who are not doing anything. You know what? Put Sonny Kiss. Like it's different, but it's baddie section as well.
sure, yeah, and at least it looks like a section as opposed to just two people or one person,
Yeah.
Okay, then let's talk about the main event. Everybody versus everybody in two cages, and we already kind of touched on it. Look, at the end of the day, we just saw Forbidden Door. There were all kinds of crazy flips and jumps, and this one is, to steal a Jim Cornette phrase, it's a hat on a hat. On a hat, on a hat, on a hat, on a hat, on a hat. Because the cage is the gimmick already, right?
Yep.
But no, you have to add on chairs, and I can't remember if there were kendo sticks. You rip off the mat, you got glass, thumbtacks, friggin' rubbing alcohol, climbing to the top of the cage. It's like, wow.
So you're a proponent of just use the cage as the weapon and that's it. Leave it at that.
Yes. Or at least if you want to, the problem is they go overboard all the time. And we said this, right? It's like they've fallen back to their worst habits now that CM Punk and Bryan Danielson and the people who knew what they were doing, now they've gone. They've fallen back on their, let's just throw everything out there ways, And they literally threw everything in this to a point where at like the 3/4 of the way through the match, I was like, okay lah. Like, I've seen everything already, what? The only way this can shock me is somebody gets executed. Like in real life,
Yeah. I wish there was more story being told.
Yeah.
Like it's really just like a visual, like violent.
Mm.
They just, like you said, they just vomited out everything that they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But if they, because like you see, they had like 2-on-1 advantage at certain points in time. One person
Mm.
coming, one person coming. There were some positives. Like,
Yeah.
like I enjoyed Jake Hager and Claudio having that tease
Mm-hmm.
where they look at each other, because they used to be an alliance in WWE.
Okay.
The real
Real
Americans.
Americans. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we the people, right?
Mm.
So that's why the crowd was popping for that. I wish as well they highlighted the young guys, Daniel
Mm.
Garcia, you know, those people that are supposed to be getting the rub from being in the Jericho Appreciation Society. They should have been highlighted. So the
Bro,
Angelo Parker, Matt Menard,
they're just there to bleed, so Jericho doesn't have to bleed.
I don't know lah, but it's funny. Okay, when they started throwing the thumbtacks, right? I
Yeah.
realized the people that didn't want to take the thumbtacks all went to the other side of the ring.
Yeah,
Went to the other ring.
Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. I'm too veteran for this. Don't waste my time, right?
Yeah.
And then of course, like, somebody brought out the rubbing alcohol, and then somehow it fell outside of the cage, and then you saw Ty Conti trying to shove the bottle back in, and then she couldn't get the bottle back in. I was like, oh my god! And all this is being caught on camera. I'm like, wow, lane.
A bit tough. What do you think of Claudio's performance overall?
I mean, look, the guy screams, not celebrity, superstar.
Yeah,
I mean,
celebrity.
pro wrestler. Sorry, WWE speak here. He screams main event guy, so he looked good, right? Nothing he does in there looked like shit. I enjoy. He was portrayed the way he should be.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that is Tony Khan or is just him himself lah.
Yeah.
Saying, look, I need to go in and look good. And obviously the finish, well, before we get to the finish, obviously somebody had to take a dive. This time it was Sammy Guevara, because who else would be crazy enough, Mr. Crazy Man, to jump off the cage?
Speaking of Sammy Guevara, right? I don't know whether this is a knock on AEW, but like you said, Claudio is a star. When he go there, he got the presence, right? But then the first encounter when I saw Claudio and Sammy Guevara, I was like, Claudio is a man. Sammy Guevara looks like a kid.
Yeah, looks like a child, like a boy, right? I mean, look, they tried to make him a face. It's obvious this guy is a Weasley heel.
Yeah.
And he has Ty Conti, like, just heat magnets. So just let him do that, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, the second they were up there, I was like, I know exactly who's going to go down. And it's so obvious already. And this goes back to the whole, they keep doing the same spot, same shit. Just instead of off a ladder, it's off a cage. It's so predictable. It's no longer interesting.
Some people were talking, or I forgot who was telling me, like, at least, right, Undertaker and Mankind felt like a legitimate, like he could have thrown off.
Yeah.
This felt like a, premeditated stunt.
Yeah. And that's the problem, because we see it all the time. And obviously, it has to be done in a safe way. Like, I'm not even going to fault them for the obvious airbag. Like, that little section there, that's covered up. Obviously, I'm not going to fault them for that. But the second they went up there, you knew who was going off already. You knew. So, and then, of course, Tovakin brings up. Also, Jason, how are you? By the way, Muhammad Daniel, it's good to see you all.
Hello, guys.
No worries. It's never late. You can always rewind and go and watch the video on demand or listen to the podcast on Spotify.
Don't worry. We haven't started the Money in the Bank review yet. Still talking about Black and Guts.
But Ruby Riott comes out. Obviously, I guess she's going to have a feud with Ty Conti or something. Oh, sorry. Ruby Soho, but Taz called her Ruby Riott, which was hilarious. And then, like a few minutes after that, JR said Cesaro. I was like, lol.
They just give up. They just give up trying already.
They're like, fuck this shit,
Yeah.
Obviously, the ending, right? So, okay, you had Eddie Kingston with Chris Jericho in the stretch plum, the stupidest looking submission in the universe.
The name also a bit stupid lah, but
look, bro, look. Stretch plum. I'm sorry, but that's what have these people not gone to masseuses before or done physiotherapy? That's what you do, man. I'm like, it looks so bad. And then you have Claudio, who's like cranking back on the sharpshooter, right? And then he gets the submission. So I guess that's where they're going with it, to tie in with the real life heat.
Yeah, very curious ending. Clearly they could have just ended it with Jericho and Kingston, and it would have been a definitive end to the rivalry, right?
Yeah.
Jericho Appreciation Society and BBC.
Mm.
But then they,
Wait. You said BBC, bro.
bro, shit. I'm not thinking about BBC at this point in time.
BCC.
BCC, yes, indeed. Oh dear gosh. Okay, so like in my mind, I was thinking to myself like this would have been a definitive ending. But then when they did that,
Mm.
it felt so anticlimactic. Don't you think so?
Yeah, it
Even
wasn't-
Eddie Kingston also like, alamak, why you end this before
Yeah.
I could?
It's not a final stamp to the saga because technically the new guy who has zero sort of history with this feud, he was the
Yeah.
one who finished the match. So are they going to now pivot to Eddie Kingston versus Cesaro, leaving the Eddie Kingston Jericho thing sort of hanging? Is it Chris Jericho's ego saying, no, I don't want to tap out and lose?
Yeah.
You know, and there could be a bit of that coming into play. I hate to say that. I hate to speculate that because, I'm a big Chris Jericho fan, but it does seem like he doesn't want to give him the last word.
But then where does this leave the JAS? Because now the feud focuses on other people. JAS, I feel like not only they lost, they got no momentum going forward.
Yep.
No stars have been built.
Nope.
You know? So
Yeah.
like
Guevara was already a quote-unquote star before
Yeah.
he rejoined. Jake Hager, same. Chris Jericho, same. So yeah, the worst is the fellas who bled over the place. Nobody remembers them.
yeah. I wrote this article on Sportskida, plugging
Yeah.
my Sportskida profile by the way.
Let's go.
It was about like 5 booking directions JAS can go after losing.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, so like what okay, so a couple of them. So one was let Sammy Guevara feud like build some sort of like distrust with Daniel Garcia, right?
Ah.
So they both fight for Jericho's attention. Like I'm supposed to be like the prodigy in this group. You come in, you extra. You know, like that would already naturally cause dissension, right? That's one of them. Secondly, I wouldn't mind having like a Jake Hager versus Claudio one-off match, just as like a mini like feud, you know, just as a callback to the WWE days.
Yeah.
So that keeps it going. And again, the 2.0 just needs to go back to the tag team. You know, it's the same issue with Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah.
Once they are in the faction, they completely forget to do tag team matches really.
Apparently Santana wants to leave. That's the rumor, right?
Oh shit! Yeah, I heard that. Does he have issues with Ortiz or something?
Apparently. Look, at this point, they're probably just pissed off at the fact that they haven't been able to, get a right foot, like their footing in the company, despite being a tag team for so long.
Yeah, 3 years. They've been in the company since the beginning. So the fact that they have been stuck in the same place, yeah, it's very sad lah. Because they're really, really talented. Like I love, Proud and Powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is what it is lah.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you are ADD, sort of just like a bunch of shit happening in front of you, like if your video game of choice is Super Street Fighter Hyper, Super Explosion Edition, basically just action, this was for you. But in the long term, having to watch this week after week after week, just like the WWE, it gets boring after a while.
Okay, so if you were to compare this Blood and Guts, don't even compare with War Games, but this Blood and Guts and last year's Blood and Guts, which one do you think is better?
First one, because it was still novel and there was more of a proper build. Like everybody had some sort of an issue.
Pinnacle versus Inner Circle, right?
Yeah. Whereas this one, like you talked about 2.0 and Danny Garcia, like they are just there. They are just bodies.
Yeah.
And I just.
Yeah, let's not talk about the fact that the so-called interim AEW champion felt like an afterthought in this match.
Oh my god, yeah. Exactly. We very quickly will talk about Rampage and the what was it? The Rampage Rumble, the Royal Rampage.
Rampage.
Okay, so they went from one gimmick match to another gimmick match in just a few days. I'm like, wow, they are really throwing everything. I get that they taped this in advance, so they had the 2 rings set up, right? So they wanted to use the 2 rings.
Yeah. Curious to hear your thoughts on this match concept.
Bro, I stopped paying attention after the first little bit because I couldn't keep. I was like, got red ring, blue ring. So it was like the winners of each ring would fight each other, right? Or some horse shit like that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was done. I was done.
Okay.
I couldn't pay attention.
Okay, I did. I did. And I don't know whether WCW had something like this. Didn't they have like a World War III or
Yep.
something?
It's 3 rings or some nonsense like that.
Yeah, that one I have no idea anything about that concept, but I'm just assuming that it is the same, like kind of same vein.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, bro, and I know your opinion is your opinion, so I respect that, but I actually enjoyed it.
Okay, but
I actually enjoyed it, yeah.
did you enjoy the finish?
I was very curious about the finish because, right? Because okay, you know what the match is about, right? So like 10% on one side, 10% on another side. They all eliminate each other. Then once the final final two from each ring, or the final person from each ring will face each other, right? Very curious that they made Brody King the winner.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. But I need to tell you something, bro. The Instagram poll that I did, I said, what's your thoughts? Like, do you liked it? Do you not liked it? A lot of people actually like the fact that Brody King won. Also very curious.
Are we talking to a very hardcore indie-rific fan base here then, who are like, oh, finally Brody? Because we all know what this will lead up to. This will lead up to another bloody match with Jon Moxley, where Jon Moxley ultimately wins because Brody King is nowhere near title contention. I've already told you what exactly is going to happen, so you don't need to watch. Literally, bro, there is no motivation for me to watch this title match because I know exactly what's going to happen. Yeah. Moxley is going to bleed for no reason. Brody King will probably kick him in the balls and he'll start bleeding from the head.
Like last 2 weeks when they did the random what did they do? Like tournament thing for Kyle O'Reilly. No, they did another battle royale.
Battle royale, yeah.
They did a battle royale.
Bro, this is classic Mark booking. Anytime and every chance they get Rumble, tournament, fucking battle royale, ladder match, ladder upon ladder, cage match with weapons inside. It's like, wow.
It's fun to play it, right? It's fun to book that as like if you're playing a video game. But I think if you're watching it on TV, you are just like vomiting everything, throw everything in the wall. Right?
So this goes back to the very first year. They are killing themselves. They're getting their guys hurt left, right, and center, but maybe Tony Khan doesn't care because it's like, okay lah, I got so many talent. If one fella gets hurt, I'll slot in another fella.
Yeah. So Kyle O'Reilly winning that Rumble, I still could accept because like Kyle O'Reilly still feels like the upper main eventer, can reasonably challenge, you know.
Sure.
But like again, Brody King. It's not even Malachi Black though. It's like Brody King.
No.
Yeah, he's a monster, but sure, but for what?
Okay, Brody King, right, is very weird. He looks like he's cosplaying a wrestler. I don't know how to put it, but his face, he has a baby face, but with a beard and lots of tattoos. He doesn't look menacing.
Basically, his body is menacing, but his face is not.
Yeah. Does he suffer from the Bobby Lashley problem? Or who else? You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Like their face just betrays the whole aura.
Yeah.
Again, for me, he's more of like, he hasn't been given enough chances to be menacing. Like, he's always been in tags, in trio matches, but I haven't seen a Brody King squash match yet.
Nope.
Right?
So ever since he debuted, after that, he just, got lumped with House of Black, and then they just, doing their YouTube stuff lah.
YouTube videos lah, you mean?
I mean, they were wrestling on YouTube lah, because, the few times they've shown up on the Dynamite, it's like, all right lah. Look, my main problem is you basically found yourself a sub-boss, not even a main boss, not even a powerful sub-boss. It's just like, oh, okay lah. We know this guy is not going to win the title because he hasn't been portrayed as an upper mid-card or even a mid-carder. He's lower mid-card at best. Suddenly he wins. He's not going to be a threat. Stop it.
If I were to use an Attitude Era reference, he's probably like Prince Albert winning the Battle Royale to fight Stone Cold.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, that, okay, like, they're just going to try it for a few weeks, let them, and they're probably friends. These indie guys, they like, oh, maybe they had like a match in like 2009 at some CZW show, and then Excalibur is going to vomit all this. Oh my god, they had such a great match at CZ blah 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 blah, where he chopped off his dick and shit like that. He's probably going to regurgitate a bunch of history that nobody will catch.
Yeah. One thing I would say that I like about AEW this week is their commentators. they're trying to change things up a bit. Do you see that? They are almost like trying to send Jim Ross into early retirement like that.
No. You know what it is, right? I figured it out actually because Jim Ross probably didn't want to do a CB long show because of the way this show was recorded. It was Dynamite first, followed by Rampage, right? And
Yes,
if
correct.
they just did the regular schedule, that means JR would have been there the whole way through. So they had JR only come out for the main event of Dynamite. So he worked main event of Dynamite plus Rampage. So that's like okay for him. But having Taz, like they need Taz there as the main guy. Tony Schiavone can do the announcer stuff. Tony and what's the other guy? Alex Marvez, they can swap or whatever lah. But who cares?
Yeah, the thing is Taz makes it legit, right?
Yeah.
Taz makes it feel like a proper presentation. Taz even makes Excalibur a bit better, I think.
Yeah. No, he makes everybody better at this point. He makes JR better. JR's just a bitter old man there.
Yeah. Like I love, of course, who doesn't love JR from Attitude Era, right? But I think after 2010, it's the right time for JR to enjoy his return. I don't mind him being like a mentor or like coach, special events maybe. But he's very. Does he sound tired all the time?
Yeah, he's probably watching this, realizing a lot of this is bullshit, and he is reached that stage in life where it's like, okay, like I'm just going to call it the way I see it. If I think it's dumb, I'll say it's dumb. It makes no sense.
Who's gonna say anything else to JR, right?
Exactly. So I mean, hate him or love him, Excalibur is there to stay. He has, the Young Bucks, they love him, blah, blah, blah. So, honestly, I feel like they should just take Tony out, put in Taz as the main sort of color guy. Excalibur can be their, info guy, I guess.
Big Show and Mark Henry waiting in the wings, bro. Let's go.
I haven't heard enough of their commentary to be able to make a judgment. Anyway, the thing is, the Royal Rampage wasn't even the main event. Okay?
Yeah.
The Young Bucks beat up a bunch of New Japan guys. I skipped this match because, why bother? I know who was going to win.
Yeah. It was a good match, but again, my problem is that they recorded right after Dynamite, right? So I read reports that by the time the main event of Rampage happened, which is like I think Tony Storm or no, I can't remember. I don't even remember who it was. But anyway, it was a girls' match. There was reports that actually people were leaving the arena already.
Yeah, I wonder why. After all the stuff, they were tired. They were done.
Yeah, they were tired.
Yeah, so it was Tony Storm versus Nyla Rose with Marina Shafir. So apparently Marina Shafir and Nyla Rose are partners. They are a thing. I don't know when that happened.
Alliance.
But okay.
AEW Dark, clearly.
Yeah, I tuned out as well. We all know, and this has been a recurring theme, that the main event of Rampage is usually the first match. And everything else is just whatever.
Yeah. It seems to be a thing. And apparently it's not just, they don't just record Dynamite. Before that, they record AEW Dark as well.
Oh my god. So yeah,
that's... So they are sitting through like what, 3-4 hours here. Of course,
there you go. Zayden says, will they ever close Dynamite with Claudio swinging someone and open Rampage with him still swinging?
That would be great, yeah.
That would be hilarious. But it's separate days lah. They have to try to at least preserve some sort of kayfabe. They can't be like, oh, by the way, this was recorded.
Yeah, they're doing what SmackDown did lah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the AEW stuff. Let's move on, I guess. I mean, honestly, okay, this is how I take AEW these days. It's just like that ADD, just so much shit happening show that has some interesting stuff, but mostly it's just a lot of noise. This is how I watch it.
I pick and choose what I enjoy. But the thing is, I would still say it's still the most watchable wrestling show, like every week. Like for me, like I can literally have it in the background and I can still like enjoy it. But like I can't, for the life of me, sit down and watch a Raw or SmackDown. So, so in my opinion, I still enjoy AEW. We are kind of skipping ahead, but like wrestling remix. Remember we were talking about wrestling remix? Yeah. So like for me, like my wrestling remix now is really Dynamite, a bit of SmackDown and Rampage, because that's like Saturdays are an easy day for me to catch up on stuff. And like just Raw, but I do not watch Raw live. I watch Raw, the top 10 Raw moments the next day.
Oh, okay, on the YouTube page, is it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's just kind of sad, isn't it? Just sad, considering the amount of talent they have. All right, talking about the WWE, let's jump ship and get on the old, Money in the Bank review now. Oh boy. A lot of people had a lot of things to say, and I'm actually quite amused at some of it. So let's just jump to Money in the Bank, shall we? The first match is the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I actually sat down and paid attention to most of this card.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Sunday morning.
You watched it throughout the whole Sunday morning, yeah?
Throughout the whole Sunday morning, I purposely woke up early, go for a run, so I'm like fully awake, right?
Wow.
So yeah, I was like, yeah, let's go. Okay, let's give this a chance. And Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Becky Lynch, Lacey Evans, Raquel Rodriguez, and Shotzi.
Astaghfirullah. Okay, it had to be a Money in the Bank opening and a Money in the Bank closing, right?
Makes sense.
Since there is no main event, no world title picture match, so yeah, so you right off the bat, you know that this is just gonna be a build-up event or like a preview for SummerSlam at most.
Yeah. This match was nothing special. It was just a bunch of spots upon spots upon spots to me.
Yeah.
It's very telling. Like someone like Alexa Bliss still has a huge pop when she comes out. Becky Lynch still big pops, right? But Asuka is like sort of mid-tier pop, and then your Lacey, Raquel, and especially Shotzi is like, and Liv, they're like, not really there. So this has a lot to do with the fact that they just haven't built a new star. Like who is right now riding a wave of momentum that you want to see win?
Liv Morgan was the only one, the closest.
Yeah, but even then, I think the pop when she did win was more of like, oh my god, they gave us somebody new, yay, But realistically, did she have a lot of momentum going into this? Not really. Like I didn't feel like, her promos are still kind of bleh.
The biggest momentum she had was going into WWE Day 1, remember?
Yes.
And then that was when you were like, you were okay to give her a chance. And then after the match, you were like, you realized that maybe it's a bit too early at that point in time.
And then they sort of cool down on her, and then I guess now they're going back up.
Yeah. Of course, clearly I don't hate the winner. I still think Liv Morgan was the right choice. But I agree when you say that the match was meh. It feels like a lot of them were very inexperienced doing a ladder match. There was so many botches and like it was very rough.
Yeah.
Do you see Shotzi like had Alexa on the electric chair?
Yeah.
And then the way she crashed was so bad. She just crashed and burned, man. Alexa kesian.
Yeah. Oh, of course we have to feel bad for Alexa. And I feel especially bad because she's still super over, even though, she's stuck with this shit gimmick, this Lily thing, right? And people still love her from what she's done before. So I don't see why they're not at least making her something bigger so that they can push, a young star.
No offense, I hate her new song.
Yeah, it's not.
Apparently, it's supposed to be something that she is more of her thing because she's like a pop punk girl.
Yeah, but
like her old song was so iconic.
Yeah,
I think you just took away like half of what made her popular.
Yeah, even her theme music was, at least it bore resemblance to her original theme. Maybe we can just think of it as, remember when WWE put out some Ruthless Aggression CD and everybody had like a remix version of their song with singing?
Yeah.
And then like some of it was nice, but some of it was damn stupid, so they just went back. Remember Stone Cold had one with singing?
Yeah, the Disturb, right?
Yeah. I was like, okay.
I remember just that part only.
Yeah, but then when he finally went back to it, it's like, oh, okay, this is the iconic tune that he should be coming up to. There's some people's music you shouldn't fuck with, lah.
Yeah, and I think Alexa's one is like iconic. Like you said, like she is very in the background right now. Like I know they're not doing anything with her, which is so sad. Do you see the segment that she did on the pay-per-view? Where it seemed like she was going to do something with Lily. Like she was talking backstage and then like, why is this whole place trashed?
Yeah.
And everyone was like legitimately thinking like this is a segment or this could be some character development, right? And then it was a commercial for a credit card and then you could literally hear, if you watch it back, you could hear the crowd. Oh.
Oh my god, product
They
placement.
just
Fuck.
groaned as yeah.
Okay, so Alexa Bliss has essentially settled into the Dolph Ziggler. Who else? What other champions have just settled in? Like Jinder Mahal,
Kofi
even Kofi.
Kingston.
Yeah, like former champions still get pops. People recognize them, but they are not getting a push anytime soon.
They are not part of major storylines lah. In
Yeah.
essence, but
Asuka, same thing. Asuka is like she's there, she's doing her crazy Japanese lady things, but
yeah. Yeah. She needs some new energy. Whether it's like
yeah.
again, I would say Io Shirai coming up to the roster and fighting her, but then I hear Io Shirai's contract is also expiring. She might just leave NXT after this. So, a bit no point. But again, Liv Morgan, I still say will have the best goodwill among fans. She's not perfect. She's not as polished as she should be, but I think WWE giving her a chance is like their attempt to at least push some new stars. And again, that's probably why there's a pop.
Yeah.
Somebody new.
Yeah, I mean, I think the same could have been said for Lacey Evans or Raquel if they won. I think it would have been that same energy of, somebody new. What did you think of Lacey Evans and Raquel? Did they impress in this match? Or is it just, they were just there?
Everything that was like promising about Lacey's promo when she first returned, like completely gone.
Okay,
completely.
And the crazy thing is, right, okay, so now she's sort of like a different version of her old character, but did you see her graphic when she came in?
No, I
It's
don't
that
remember.
pin-up girl. So like,
Oh, so she still has that. Okay.
That's her old character, what? So I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Maybe they just too lazy to make a new one for her. Like, just slap the same thing lah.
Oh my god.
No, but her wearing pink camo though, I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Okay, you know what I feel this is? I feel like somebody in creative, or maybe it's Vinnie Mac himself. Oh, I like me a hot woman in army fatigues. Yeah. Put some army pants on her and lingerie. Yeah. Make it pink.
Remember the first time? Remember the first time they announced Money in the Bank and it was just the three of them? It was like Lacey, Alexa, and Liv Morgan, and people were like, "Oh, this is Vince's fantasy." All three.
Yeah, all three blondes, right? Bro, I'm not even joking. I think that someone's fantasy is like an army girl with like big bazookas in like this totally inappropriate army top.
Yeah. I'm going reservice soon, so in my mind, this is like not realistic at all. This will never.
Happy SAFC, everybody. Random segue.
Bro, you will never see this at Crunchy Camp. I can assure you, bro.
And then Raquel Rodriguez, really, she's there and she's smiling, and I just can't take her seriously.
I wish they used back her old gimmick, like her big mommy cool. That made her cool. That made her interesting.
Yeah, not Smiley Rodriguez. Anyway, Liv Morgan wins, and we'll see more of her in a bit, I suppose. Bobby Lashley versus Theory. Okay, so I mean, it was what it is. Theory is still very much somebody to look out for in the future.
I'm very surprised they put a title on Bobby.
Well, considering what happened, I'm not surprised at all.
Yes, only after what happened that I realized what's the reason behind it. Because Bobby was in this position in 2020. He doesn't need the mid-card title. I still think you should have kept him in the main event, even as a temporary opponent for Roman Reigns. At least he's legitimate,
See, that's the thing. Bobby has also settled into the Dolph Ziggler, Alexa Bliss, Jinder Mahal role, where he's former champion. At any time you need him to challenge, sure. But right now he's not on the card. So okay, you just hold on to the US title for a while.
Okay, at least he doesn't drop so low that he can't even win a title.
Yeah.
So you know that if, for example, Roman is not going to be on Raw that often, the US title on Bobby makes it feel like, okay, a more important, bigger deal. So I'm okay with it.
Hopefully, because honestly, as much as they are, as much as this looks like they are making the US title more important, we've seen them many times, just all of a sudden Bobby will disappear.
Yeah.
Because his feud with MVP and Omos technically over. So and they never have things to do with the secondary belts. And speaking of the Intercontinental title, where the hell has Gunther been?
Yeah. Oh, but again, Gunther, at least he is on SmackDown, where I feel like the competitors, the contenders for his title can be interesting. But Raw, who's there?
But think about this. They are consolidating their titles, right?
Yes.
What if they build a proper program. Monster versus Monster. Bobby versus Gunther. US Intercontinental. Just combine the damn things.
Well, I would watch that. Who wouldn't want to watch that, right?
The
So that's pretty dope.
only problem is Bobby needs to not have too much mic time. Because the longer he stays on the mic, the more he makes himself look stupid.
Bobby is better at like backstage, like
Casuals.
heartfelt
Yeah.
casual segment, like
Yeah,
WWE exclusive digital kind of interview.
Not in the ring trying to, and then he starts poor things tripping up on his own words, and it's like, oh dear, just beat somebody up already.
Yeah. Remember when he was the WWE champion and then he had like a bunch of girls around him?
Yeah.
And then like he was saying that need to be more serious and blah blah blah. Yeah.
Look, if they do Gunther versus Bobby, Gunther has Ludwig Kaiser with his abs. They are the foreign menace. You know, this is a tale as old as time. And Bobby used to be a Marine. Or he served in the army. Not a Marine, but he served in the... Right, so this is like the perfect setup right now. You have foreign heel versus a Marine. It doesn't get any easier to write than that.
Yeah, you see, like again, simple storyline, right? Good guy, bad guy, and Lashley. I think, like you said, he is legitimate enough that he can go back to the world title picture anytime.
Yeah.
Let him run with the US title. Give him opponents to squash, and then give him a good storyline. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even mind Ezekiel winning the title eventually.
Right. Okay, well, I was speaking of which too, like, I mean, his stuff with Kevin Owens has low-key been the best stuff on Raw, just out of the blue. It started off as something ridiculous and Kevin Owens made it work. Like, just his reaction to everything. And we talked about it before. And then there's talks of Elrod now. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna pull that off. But again, if you didn't watch Raw on HD, the prior week, the Cena week, you wouldn't notice that it's actually a fake beard, but the beard was done really, really well.
Yeah, it was definitely done very well. Unless you're watching on 4K and then you freeze frame. I can see the glue on the side. Then that gives it up. But Bobby beating Theory, and as we know, it's not just for, taking the title of Theory. There are bigger plans for Theory, as we have found out. Let's move on. Then Bianca Belair versus Carmella. Toilet break.
Yes, toilet break for me, or for me it was a sleeping break because I slept in a bit,
I legitimately went out to get breakfast and, settled my dogs, and there was no point in watching this. And I feel bad because we didn't give them a chance. But really, who cares about this match?
I mean, from what I've heard, because I did read the results after that and the gradings and all that. Apparently, Carmella performed really, really well. Like, I think she's the kind of girl who is like underrated. Like, if she's given a chance to perform, I think she can knock it out of the park. But again, the only problem is that she doesn't feel like a threat because we already know how WWE books Carmella, right?
Yep.
So if again, like, nothing against her ability, she definitely, her character work is one of the best among the women. But again, it is a temporary feud. It's a sub boss.
Yeah, I mean, we know that the original feud was supposed to be Rhea Ripley, and that would have been banger. Like an absolute banger of a match, but we got Carmella. It feels like a second or a consolation prize, and it's like it becomes throwaway, right?
If you know what it would have been, you were like Forbidden Door,
yeah. What
Will
could have been?
Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy. Okay,
let's move on then. The Usos versus the Street Profits for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. I don't know, but what it is, I think they've just wrestled each other too many times.
Again, a lot of people thought this was match of the night.
Yeah.
Or like one of the best tag team matches of the year. Again, you are right. I agree with you to a certain extent. I feel like I couldn't enjoy it as much because I know that they've wrestled so many times.
They've run this combination into the ground to the point where it's like, and it's going to continue because of the finish, right? The finish, he pinned him, but his shoulders were up, and then they showed the replay.
Yeah.
Oh, so this continues.
It's like New Day versus Usos. Like, every time they get in the ring, it's a great match. But like, at a certain point, you're done. You just want to see something new.
Yeah.
And I'm more curious about this whole possible dissension between Street Profits members. Do you know about that? The commentators keep talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from because they haven't shown anything. So maybe this is leading up to a different storyline where, maybe the
Yeah.
Usos were the ones who started that rumor to sort of like get them off their game or whatever it is. Montez looks bigger than before, by the way. I don't know if you noticed. He looks
Yes.
jacked, like holy shit.
Yes. Apparently, yeah, that's been noticed by social media. A lot of people have mentioned that he has put on some muscle mass. Is he training to be a future singles main eventer though? He looks like he's trying to get that size, bro.
And he definitely can do it. Like, he could be that exciting, sort of very athletic guy, right? Like, he's buff, he looks good, he's charismatic on the mic, and he can execute like the most ridiculous like frog splash from the heavens.
Yeah.
Sort of a move.
I remembered long time ago when I was watching like Bret Hart, right? When he was in Stampede, he's damn skinny. Skinny fella. Like not impressive at all. And like when only in 91, 92, after the Hart Foundation, then he started to put on more size. Then suddenly you're like, oh, this guy can be a singles guy. When he was with Neidhart, he left the size to Neidhart to do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the same with Montez Ford. Like him putting on size is like signaling a main event run. Like how Triple H. Remember Triple H when he was with Shawn Michaels?
Yeah.
In shape, but skinnier.
Yeah.
Then suddenly when he picked up the game, he suddenly jacked to the gills.
Well, we shall not speculate how he got there. Probably through a lot of hard work and maybe a little bit extra. But okay, fine. You break them up, but to what end? Like is he going like straight up main event, like Roman Reigns? Or
I feel like I miss those days when WWE make traditional pushes. Tag team guy, break up, become a single star, go through the IC title picture, then suddenly win Money in the Bank or win Royal Rumble, like the traditional way.
The problem is the IC title is not worth anything these days, or the US title. Well, okay, maybe not like now, at least. Okay, it's on Bobby, it's on Gunther, at least it's starting to mean something. Hopefully it does, but like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, it wasn't. So you need to rehab those titles, and maybe having Montez Ford turn on Angelo Dawkins. But then they're not done with the Usos feud, right?
Yeah. Maybe another blow-off match, maybe SummerSlam, I don't know, probably. And that will be, I think that will be a bigger stage for either Montez Ford or Dawkins to turn heel. In SummerSlam, I think that feels like more appropriate. Yeah.
I think most of the issue here is the fact that we've seen these matches over and over again in so many different permutations, and it's unforgivable because honestly they have the roster. It's just they just don't want to feature other people, for whatever reason. Like once in a while you can have a freaking how have I forgotten his name? R-Truth join the Street Profits on a match, or let's mix things up a little bit. But we never see Drew Gulak. We never see T-Bar.
Well, T-Bar has been very prominent on main event apparently.
Oh boy, yeah. So
did you see the match, T-Bar and R-Truth?
Of course not. Okay. I don't watch main event.
Nobody watched the match, but it became viral because apparently R-Truth was doing a lot of Cena's moveset because it was Cena week.
Yeah. Okay. A poor thing, T-Bar had to job out to R-Truth. Very quickly, let's jump into SmackDown, because I forgot to mention something that I very low-key am loving right now, because it's so absurd. Once in a while, you get like absurd gimmicks that you're like, okay, where can this go? And we know this guy is talented on the promo. And he is exuding maximum male models right now. Like, fuck his shit name, Max Dupree. But, oh my God, does this guy pull it off, huh?
Yeah, he does his best. I think he's really making chicken salad out of chicken shit with this thing.
Yes. And then, of course, you have Marseille and Monsoir. Like when he announced it, I legitimately laughed out loud because of how ridiculous it is.
No, the one that made me laugh was he pronounced Mace as Marseille.
Marseille and Mansour or what Mansour lah, but not Mansoir. So I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. He cannot do it every week because it will get old. So we are gonna have to see them wrestle at some point. But I would love to see, you know what? Do a fucking catwalk pose down with whoever they're gonna feud with.
This could be the Ezekiel of SmackDown, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
It
yeah.
could be. It could be.
Or it could be complete trash.
Yeah, but knowing LA Knight, knowing shit. Now I forgot his old name, Eli Drake.
Eli Drake.
He can make it work. My only issue is right, like I see Mace as like the retribution Mace, and I see Mansoor as that guy that every time he goes Saudi Arabia, he's like the best wrestler there. So I wonder how the Arabians are gonna take him suddenly becoming a fashion model. That's gonna be interesting.
He's probably not going to go to the next
He-
Saudi show. You know,
Yeah.
we've changed his whole character completely. It's like he's a model, whatever. I
Yeah.
think they are in with the Saudis so much so that they don't need that quote unquote representation anymore. Or maybe they have somebody else also.
Yeah, I don't know, but I like Mansoor. He is a handsome fella, so like he definitely feels like a model.
Excuse me, Mansoor.
Mansoor.
Did he wear the fanny pack? And then, like, they threw themselves into the ridiculousness of it, and I enjoyed it. I think all of it hinges on the fact that Max Dupree is making it work.
Yeah,
It's all
again.
him.
You know when you said like it was like Loki, one of your favorite things, right? I actually was thinking of something else.
What?
Sami Zayn being an honorary Us.
That as well. Okay, see, these are like bright spots where the wrestlers are making the best of the shit that they are given. They are
Yeah.
literally making chicken salad out of chicken shit. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even have minded it if Sami Zayn won Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
And-
because that storyline would be interesting.
Yes, it would have been super interesting. Like, is he gonna do it? Is he not? Oh, but he's, pled his fealty to the bloodline and all that. So I was like, there's so much there that could happen. But obviously, he was never going to, get that main title push. So he's just having fun with it. They're letting him run with it. So why not, right?
Yep. Are we running to the Money in the Bank main event yet? There's still one more match.
Oh
right?
no, there are two more. Wow, okay, two more matches, and the next match was dead. I don't know if it's because the tag team match was so high energy that this match, being a one-on-one and including characters that unfortunately nobody gives a shit about, and
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey got famous in Vegas. This is her. Even though she's not from Vegas, this is her town. These are supposed to be her people where she dominated so many people in the UFC, but they were dead.
So
It's so clear nobody cares about this version of Ronda Rousey.
WWE managed to kill one of their biggest cash cows.
Yeah, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Like, you just look at her first run, perfect handling. And then now it's like, I don't know if she wants to be a face or they are going through this whole like, all the big stars need to be a face, need to be good guys and good girls. And, afterwards we'll talk about the newest signing and his alignment as well. But it seems like what WWE, because they are such a commercial product, right? It feels like their biggest names must be the face of the company, and therefore they must be good guys, good girls.
But then you see someone like Roman Reigns, and that exactly slaps in the face of that logic, right?
Yeah.
They can be like badass heels if they want. Do you hear the reports that apparently when Ronda came back, she was under the impression that she was gonna be a heel. So on Royal Rumble night when she won, right, she was actually in her mind acting like a heel. But the next day when she came to Raw, they made her face.
Somebody is changing their minds at the last minute and it's just not a good look. And Ronda doesn't work as a face. I'm sorry. Her disposition, her personality, giving her the mic, letting her cut long promos. And Natty, for all the respect she commands backstage, she has never been a top tier talent in the WWE, right?
Yeah.
Like I said before, I missed her initial run, so I don't know what she did, but like this stuff about her tits and her sister's tits and their feud,
God.
it's like, it's so blah.
Okay, weirdly enough, like you said, right, that Ronda doesn't work as a face, but in her initial run, the first almost 1 year, she was a face and she did well. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what made that run work? And then I realized, right, the roster then is so much better than the roster now.
Well, here's the thing. The crowd was itching for Ronda to turn heel. And then they finally turned her heel, remember?
After a while.
Because, okay, you know what it is? She was a face because she was new. She was, like, this is the first time she's coming over from the UFC.
Wrestling. Yeah.
Huge news, right? So yeah, obviously she has that face, that vibe. But then like she started talking shit on Instagram, and I mean not Instagram, on social media, and then like the audience got sick and tired of her because ultimately you put her in front of the camera enough, you know, her quote unquote true character comes out, and it tends to lend itself towards being a heel. That's why they did the right thing by switching her heel and have her decimate everybody.
Yeah. And if she had stayed heel on SmackDown, right? I don't know, like probably like run Charlotte out and like take over. Okay, it's my show now, bitch, or whatever it is, right?
Yep.
I feel like there's more storyline opportunities. Raquel Rodriguez definitely in the future.
No, but then Raquel, they had the match, they hug, shake hands, Raquel smile, everybody smile. Wow, that's boring.
Yeah.
And okay, it also hurts that they don't really have any big major heels on SmackDown anymore.
Yeah.
Who's a major female heel on SmackDown?
Well,
name.
Don't have Carmella was on
Shotzi.
SmackDown.
Yeah. But then there's no such thing as SmackDown Raw. Anybody crosses over already. Shotzi, Xia Li,
yeah, Xia Li was a thing.
So you have a problem with now they go and shove Natty into the mix because obviously they want Ronda to work with an experienced worker, which is fine. It's just that it's at this high level, championship level, but nobody cares about the characters, Natty and Ronda Rousey.
I know they try to tell the story of like, both of them are submission specialists. They were trying to out wrestle each other. Like they were trying. Yeah,
nobody. The problem is nobody buys Natty as a submission expert. Nobody, because Ronda is a legit shoot fighter.
If they had made it like, if they had promoted it like an MMA guy versus a wrestling girl, like would you have still felt like, okay, this one is at least a legitimately interesting angle?
What do you mean?
No, okay, because right now, like you said, right, Natalia has all the wrestling pedigree, and Ronda
does
is
she?
definitely...
Wait, hang on. Does she? Does Natalia have all the wrestling pedigree just because her last name is Hart or has Neidhart or Hart in it? You know?
Okay, everybody acknowledges that she's the gatekeeper of the women's division, as in like in terms of training, in terms of like understanding the main roster. That's her role, right?
But you see, that is sort of like a insider knowledge. Your casuals don't know that. Your casuals see her as the big tit thing. You know, she's doing YouTube shows and showing off her boobs. That's what they know her as. Do you see the problem with on Total Divas, whatever? Do you see the problem with her presentation? And she's done the boat stuff. Nothing in her recent presentation has hinted at the fact that she's this wizard, technical wizard. You know?
I get it. Like if they had promoted her like a Serena Deeb.
Yeah.
Make her all about her training, make her all about, you know, how she was, then maybe this could have been a thing. Again, goes back to WWE's writing, because there's no denying both of their talents in the ring.
Yeah. I mean, they tried to make the match work, but the crowd was so quiet. I was like, oh my God, they must be like feeling damn shit inside.
Yeah, I remember you put it on the Discord, you were like, wow, the crowd damn quiet for this match, huh?
Yeah. And then the loudest pop came when
Liv Morgan finally cashed her money in the bank.
Cashed in money in the bank. Oh my God, I swear, when Ronda had her in the ankle lock, and this, I don't know what to think about it, because I get that they were trying to make us feel like, oh my God, she's going to waste her chance, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that a good or a bad thing? Because it makes Liv look like shit when that happened. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But then she finally like kicked her and Ronda was already injured. So in a lot of ways, this is to make Ronda save face.
Yeah. I feel it was in line with Liv's character and booking up to this point, because she has always fell short at the final hurdle. I think they just wanted to throw one more like obstacle. Like, oh shit, what if she fails her cash in?
Yeah.
I was okay with that move, and I actually secretly I laughed at the fact that she did all that. Suddenly she kena ankle lock. That would be damn funny.
If she taps.
If she taps, right, people will boot Ronda.
Yeah, and then at the finish where they were like standing in front of each other, I was like, please turn.
Yeah,
I was literally standing there watching, go, please slap her. Oh my God, if she went in like hip toss and then armbar and all that shit, right? This is the Ronda I think people expected. And then when it didn't happen, it was like the air was let out of the bag. Like, oh boy, so we're going to see more smiley Ronda, or she's going to take a break, or whatever.
But they needed Liv Morgan to have her moment,
Yeah.
like 2 minutes of her posing with the belt. It's okay. I think she can pull off the heel turn by a bit more.
Mm,
It's as simply as this coming SmackDown, she comes out to the ring and congratulates Liv Morgan and turns on her. I think that is fine.
right, sure.
Yeah, but again, Liv, I think it was a great moment. A bit weird because it was like not even the end of the show. It was like in the
Yeah.
middle. So, yeah, her first ever world title. We shall see what happens to Liv, whether she can pull it off.
So I guess that moves her over to SmackDown where she can feud with... See, Liv versus Shotzi, Liv versus Lacey, Liv versus Raquel. Those are like on the same level sort of matches.
Yeah. But
As
though I
opposed
would
to
say
a
it's
Ronda,
fresh.
yeah.
Though I would say it's fresh matches, though, I would say.
But they are also just like Shotzi's hair green matches.
I know who I want to come back and
Wow.
like spice up the SmackDown roster.
I think it's way overdue. You're talking about Ding Dong!
Hello.
Bailey. Hello.
Yeah,
Bailey versus Liv. Hey, if anybody can make Liv, it might just be Bailey.
Yeah, it might just be her. And again, you're forgetting there's one other girl who is like still on her wedding honeymoon.
Oh, Charlotte.
Yeah, and Liv versus Charlotte, I think would be a great underdog
Ooh.
trying to overcome
Yeah.
this like established wrestler, right?
You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna book it right now. And
Let's
this is
go.
not me wanting it to happen because I dislike people. Okay, this is knowing the WWE product. Charlotte's gonna come back. They're gonna have a program, Charlotte versus Liv, the underdog thing, and then they're gonna realize, oh, Liv is not really that popular or working. Charlotte's gonna win the fucking title again. And then Ronda's gonna come back and we'll have Ronda versus Charlotte part whatever. And Liv will just fade off in the background. Trust me on that. That's exactly what's gonna happen, knowing WWE booking.
So you think Liv will have a Big E title reign, like essentially?
She is going to have a Nikki Ash title reign.
Yeah, because this time last year is the same thing, right?
Yeah, exactly the same thing. They cashed in at a different time, but bro, I feel sad. I feel sad that that's what's gonna happen. But WWE is so predictable. I think that's exactly what's gonna happen.
I shall remain positive and idealistic.
Idealistic, bro. You are more positive than I am, my friend.
Yeah, I love Liv Morgan, man. Not just because she's gorgeous, right? But I feel like she can be the face of like the next year. She's only 28, bro.
Okay. How about this? Liv.
What?
They teased it before, right? Liv and Alexa Bliss tag team.
Yeah.
And Liv as champion. You can have Alexa Bliss sort of be her mentor, right? And then at some point, Alexa Bliss turns. Go back to the old goddess, like sneaky, which is what made her famous to begin with, right?
Yeah, like the mean girl goddess, right?
And it works because they are very similar in style, in build, in look, in stature. So Alexa can pass everything on to Liv Morgan. I feel like that could work. So they work together as a team. So Liv learns from Alexa like that. Then when they work against each other, they're also learning, or Liv is learning from Alexa.
So basically put Alexa on SmackDown as well, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all know that the brand split doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I wouldn't mind because it puts Alexa in a prominent position. She's doing nothing right now, essentially.
And
so,
it's the age old, I'm your friend, right? But actually I was gunning for the title.
If she does a Christian Cage, I'll be more than happy.
Exactly, right? Okay, so now we go to, before the main event, there was a promo that was cut, that ominous, like, dark promo. When it played, I was like, what the fuck is going on? But then I went online and people freeze frame and the internet, right? Yeah. So they mentioned that there were shots of like the Hardy style outfits and then like the glasses from the Dudleys. So this could be...
I saw Latino Heat as well, license plate.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that was the Latino Heat license plate, yeah.
What? So, okay, then people are speculating it could be Edge.
Yeah. I think most likely it is. He will return.
But what is the connection between Edge and Eddie?
You didn't know Edge and Eddie had like a great feud in 2002.
Did I?
Over the IC title.
How do I not remember this?
They had a thing.
Okay.
But they also were in the US title picture as well. And I think the tag team. Remember when Los Guerreros and Benoit and Benoit and Kurt Angle they were misfit tag team.
Yeah.
And then Rey Mysterio and Edge were a team.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all connected lah.
Irvin says, how long before Mandy and Toxic Attraction? Actually, well, that could be the next big thing on SmackDown. And then you really leave NXT with nobody. You got Wendy Chu. Wendy Chu and...
Wait. No, they got new people. They got the girl that I really like, that young
Roxy,
girl.
Roxy and the skateboard chick,
Cora Jade.
Cora Jade, who are terribly undersized.
Yeah, they're all like
Unfortunately.
they are all AJ Lee type of girls lah.
Yeah, but okay, sorry for the distraction, but yes.
You know who is the perfect size?
Who? What?
Everyone's favorite girl on NXT, Nikita Lyons.
Nikita Lyons. Oh my God. Yes.
Yes. She has no problem with being undersized. So,
yeah. So okay, we got that out of the way. Are you ready for the main event? Okay. Before we get there, just I forgot what we were talking about. We're talking about that video with supposedly Edge, right?
Yeah.
Is it too soon for him to come back? And why are you teasing it with ominous videos?
Well, first of all, what the hell has Judgment Day been doing since he kicked him out?
No, yeah, exactly. Right? So they had a random thing backstage with somebody, I forget who, and then you had like Finn Balor cutting shit promos, and it's
they are supposed to have tomorrow on Raw, they're supposed to have a tag team match against the Mysterios.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're trying to recruit Dominic.
Dominic, yeah, they're trying to recruit Dominic. So interestingly, Raw is gonna take place in San Diego.
Oh.
Hometown.
Okay, so is this when they pull the trigger, Dominic turns, and then leads up to SummerSlam, Dominic versus Ray?
It's about time, lah, bro. It's about time. Because in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, why the hell is Rey Mysterio the cover star of WWE 2K? Like, he's not even featured in any storylines. But if this happens this year, then okay, makes sense.
So, okay, you have the Mysterios have their big battle. Like I said before, this is a WrestleMania match. It could be a SummerSlam match. Maybe they want to pull the trigger early, and they have Dominic turn and whatever. I guess that makes sense. Sure.
Yeah. But again, what has Judgment Day been doing since they turned heel?
Nothing. Absolutely. It's another reckoning all over again. They've botched it.
But I feel the issue was because Rhea Ripley got injured. I think that hurt their momentum. But like, if it was me, right? Why is Damian Priest not fighting over the US title? Yeah. Why is Finn Balor not in the Money in the Bank? Like, make Judgment Day a prominent part of television, you know?
It's quite obvious they had nothing for those two, so Edge was like, let me bring them under my wing. And then when they decided, all right, we need to kick Edge out, that's it. They're back to being nothing.
Yeah, like Edge had Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest for like 2 weeks when the three of them were together.
and it was good. It was like, oh my God, this is cool. They're gonna push them. And then the worst is the poor thing, Tommaso Ciampa. Like, completely, where is he? On main event still?
I wouldn't mind it if Finn Balor joined as the fourth member, but still be under Edge.
Yeah.
Give it some time to breathe. Let Edge all the way to WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Or like SummerSlam. So
the quote-unquote rumor is that they wanted to bring back Edge as a babyface because of Cody's absence, right? But we go back to the fact that they botched the whole situation with Seth. He could have been the face. He could have been the one to go up against Roman Reigns for the summer because, they obviously have history, blah, blah, blah. And I guess that leads us to your main event. The big Money in the Bank ladder match. Drew, Moss, Omos, Riddle, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, and last minute entry, Theory. And this, oh my God, the second they announced it, I was like, fuck.
They just spoiled the ending, right?
Yeah, I had a very bad feeling. Okay, this calls back to mine. Remember, which year was it where Brock won? And then he at least this one, they introed Theory at the start. Brock, that one just showed up randomly at the end.
2019, when I think, if I'm not wrong, he took up Mustafa Ali, right?
Yeah. So, and then that led to the whole Brock party nonsense, which was humorous, to say the least. But so, okay, obviously throwing Theory in there, I get it, this whole favoritism thing, So, the funny thing is the way Johnny Sins, what's his face? Adam Pearce.
Yes, Johnny Sins.
Pulled it off, right? I don't know if it was bad acting or are they trying to hint at something, but he didn't look like he felt bad.
He looks like he was smirking, like
he was partnering on the deal. Yeah.
Well, apparently the commentators were hinting like, oh, this one is confirmed got some influence. Somebody pull strings backstage one, right?
Okay, so maybe because of the whole ongoing investigation, they can't talk about Vince. So maybe they're going to pivot and make Adam Pearce, the manipulator, or this whole time it was really just Adam Pearce. Because usually when he would present these things like, Theory has a thing because, of connections, he would at least look like he felt bad.
You come across babyface-ish, right?
Yeah, but this time around, he felt like he was smirking like, haha, this is my guy. So I felt a bit like, what's going on?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, bro. Another interesting thing, bro, like Sonia Deville.
Oh my, what happened to her?
Yeah, ever since she kena, like the Naomi thing got scrapped, ever since she kena kicked out from being general manager, nothing, bro.
No, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and like Adam Pearce, like when Adam Pearce came out, I was thinking to myself, yeah, Adam Pearce, I like him, blah blah blah. But the thing that made the co-GM thing work was Sonia Deville as well.
Yeah, you need one good, one bad, balances it out, right?
Yeah.
So now your big evil bad guy is actually being investigated as a big evil bad guy in real life. So you can't have him on TV, except for moments where he just strolls out, and then he fucks off to show the shareholders that he's still there.
Yeah. But again, like so when Theory came out, I was really like, bro, you guys all spoiled the ending. This is clearly, but it makes me angry because I think the commentators also mentioned it. Everyone else had to qualify for this match.
Yeah.
So
okay, but I get it though. When I see people angry, then I'm like, okay lah. So they literally did what worked, as in
the reaction, yeah.
Yeah, because he's such an entitled heel. He's literally the very definition of an entitled millennial heel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He basically got the chance without qualifying and he freaking won it and people were upset. So it makes sense, right? So I don't necessarily hate the finish. I just think that there were so many people more deserving and could have made for better storylines.
Again, there was storyline threads going into the match that I wanted to see pay off. Like I wanted to see like the whole Sami Zayn, whether he would win, right? For the bloodline.
Seth.
I wanted to see Seth teasing the whole situation with cashing in the Money in the Bank twice on Roman Reigns, right?
The heist of the century. To be honest, that makes me more interested in the main event of SummerSlam.
Yeah, because you never know because so far Seth Rollins has been presented to the level of Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at certain points in his career. So you know that he might be able to screw it up. Again, Riddle also had a storyline going in. He wanted to do it for Randy Orton. So that could have played into it. So they didn't need Theory winning.
Yeah. So the only people who didn't really have a real storyline or stand a chance were Moss and Sheamus. Let's be real, they were just there to make up the numbers. Drew.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre also got a match coming out, but I didn't mind Sheamus and Moss because Sheamus is a veteran.
Yeah,
we love him in the ring, right? And he has the whole thing with Drew that can happen. And Moss, I feel they needed a young star in the match. They didn't need Theory. They already had Moss as that young star that could have been given the shine, right?
Bro, you forget one other young star.
Who?
Omos.
I was trying to avoid his name, bro.
Hey, bro, it was hilarious because there were several moments in the match you can see, right, when Omos was involved. The veteran wrestlers, you can tell them basically walking him through the match. Like several people were walking him through the match when they were having their exchanges. You can see I can't remember who it was. I think Riddle was trying to rear naked choke him, whatever. You can see Riddle all right, now you're gonna throw me, blah blah blah. You can see him talking to Omos, and then right after that, somebody else was like, okay, hit me. Like literally, the poor guy needed to be talked through the entire match.
Yeah, I mean, okay, since we're talking about the match, can we just talk about my favorite moment? If there's anything that Omos did that was funny and entertaining, was at least when they did that Shield power bomb, but it's like the entire
everybody
all angkat him like he died like that,
Okay, see, this is the way you portray Omos. Honestly, they did a good job here, right? Despite me being able to notice everybody telling him what to do, you have him here and there, and whenever he's in the ring, he's a threat. But it takes the entire field to kill him through the table or throw every ladder on top of him to just get rid of him for a while. That makes sense. That's how you should portray your limited workers, your limited giant monsters.
genuinely, like the things that he did in the ring, like with the ladders, I thought was like make sense for a giant, right?
Yep.
Like they tried to attack him with the ladder, nothing happened.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then when they missed him, and then he just walked back, and like both guys fell down with the
Yep.
ladder.
Yep.
But when they all carried him and he was like Seth commanding it, that was legitimately an awesome sight to see. A tall ass guy like that kind of thrown.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, so we have to understand what we're watching. This is not going to be a classic one-on-one with lots of story. This is a car crash match. So you have to like sort of like close one eye, go, okay, we'll just enjoy it for the spots. People watch these things for the spots, right? And I think it delivered. I think it was a satisfactory main event. And
My favorite match on the card.
Yeah.
I mean, you won't say that it's the best Money in the Bank match of all times.
No.
But there were really great moments. Like, okay, another moment that I really enjoyed was when I think what was Riddle's diving move called?
Floating bro.
Yeah, he did the floating bro off the top of the ladder.
Yeah.
I was personally scared because right, if you think about it, right, if you have a ladder, right, and you are standing right at the top, if you're gonna do a moonsault, right, my fear is that because of the momentum, you might kind of shift the ladder forward.
Yep.
And that might completely botch the moonsault, you know?
A ladder is not a stable ground to jump off. So
correct.
If it tilts just a bit, you don't get enough push, that's it already. You're gonna land on your head or some shit.
Yeah, then you probably like arrow downwards and just die, right? But if you see how Riddle performed the move, this is just a testament to his amazing core strength.
Yeah.
He did literally a standing flip from the ladder, and the ladder barely moved.
I think there's no doubt that physically he's incredibly gifted.
Yeah, he is.
He's ultra over with the crowd because where is he from?
Las Vegas, right?
Yes, he
was, right? Yeah.
He's an ex-UFC guy as well.
Yeah.
And he's literally like from Las Vegas, Nevada. So
so perfect combination.
Yeah, perfect combination. Like, and he's obviously with his program with Randy has gotten super over. It's just that at some point, I feel like he's going to struggle from the RVD problem. Very hard to put him on a poster. Like, oh, our champion, Stoner. You know, like a corporate like I hate to use the word, but you know, the champion has to have a look, a vibe, right? He could be a short-term champion, like, oh, finally he wins the big one, but he's never going to be that main event, like poster boy, like a Triple H, like a Austin, The Rock, that kind of thing.
No, but he doesn't need to be that guy. Like there will be the Roman Reigns, there will be the people who will carry the company, be the great poster guy. And I guess somebody like Theory could be that guy if they build him up right. But I think Riddle will just be in and around the world title picture. And that's his goal.
Jason says dream match, Omos versus Satnam Singh. Oh, good lord.
That is a forbidden door that I hope stays forbidden.
No, in a ladder blood and guts match with three rings and Rampage Rumble and sharks surrounding the ring with electrified barbed wire, exploding arena match.
You know how you want to kill your audience? Satnam Singh versus Omos in a 60-minute Iron Man match.
Fuck.
Let's go. They're just touching each other for 60 minutes.
They lock up for 3 minutes and then lock up for another 5 minutes. Oh my god.
No, they want to do submission. It will take 5 minutes for them to get into the position for the submission.
So what's up? Says Theory was holding the ladder. He action Ping San. Right. Okay, that makes sense then. Actually, it makes sense. You would need somebody else to hold the ladder down so he has a stable platform to jump out of. Yeah. Oh my god, Jaden says not him versus the new dancing Indian Shanky. Okay, bro, here we go. Shanky versus Omos versus Satnam Singh, triple threat Iron Man submission match.
Special guest referee Jinder Mahal.
Special guest announcer, the Great Kali.
How is he gonna announce, bro? Come on.
That's the whole gimmick. Special commentator, Giant Gonzalez.
Oh my god. Okay, can I just say, I actually have a favorite Indian wrestler, bro.
Who?
I honestly think that he legitimately can be a star.
Jinder.
No. I mean, Jinder is already way past his sell-by date, lah. Okay. But this guy, right? I feel like memes aside, right? He's a threat, bro.
Veer.
Bro,
what has Veer been doing?
He cut one promo on the ring, on the entrance.
Yeah, that's it. Like, who's he actually feuding with?
Didn't he like had a thing with the Mysterios?
Yeah.
Mysterios kena ambulance because of Veer.
Yeah,
Then
but
he
that
come
one
back, never talk to him already. They
they
all avoid him in the whole way, bro.
it's like WWE just doesn't want anyone to break through. Doesn't it feel like that? They're scared that if somebody breaks through and then they're like, oh, fuck you, and then leave like Sasha Banks.
But you have to make stars. That's the currency. WWE's currency is the talent. What?
Oh my god. Oh, the Indian guy on NXT as well, damn big. Yeah, I forgot his name also.
The one that was Grayson Waller's partner, right?
Yeah.
Sangra.
Sanga.
Anger. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrongly. But
Yeah.
like the reason why I like Veer is actually I heard him talk. He doesn't have an accent, bro. He got American accent, bro.
Yeah, he got American, which is very interesting. So why not have him just be, and he looks the part. He is a bit cross-eyed, that's right.
But I think that it will plays into his gimmick.
Yeah.
He can be a scary cross-eyed monster, bro.
Yeah, make it like, oh, some of the wrestlers joke about it and then he fucks them up big time.
Yeah. He reminds me of Umaga. Like
Yes, that's
really
a
like Umaga.
great comparison. Absolute Umaga vibes. Just give him the Indian spike. Instead of the Samoan spike, Indian spike.
Yeah, and I think he can pull it off. He got the one thing he has legit intensity, not the Omar's intensity, where he's just jolly. No, like a Lukaku smile. No. This one is like he can really kill you if he wants to. And when they talk about him being the lion, like I really believe him. He's like a Bengal tiger, in the jungle.
His hair, bro.
His hair.
Luscious, bro.
Fucking shampoo hairs, yeah. So
okay, this is the trajectory of every foreign monster in the WWE. They come in as a foreign monster heel, barely speaking English. Then after their run is over, they become joke characters. Like, dancing Kali, ladies man Kali, Viscera, he started off as like, actually no, he started as a joke character. He became Viscera and then he became Big Daddy V. But you know what I mean. So at some point, Veer is going to do shampoo ads. Bro, Veer, maximum male models.
Viare.
Yes, Viare.
Don't
Let's go.
give ideas to WWE, bro. Come on.
That's it. Look at his hair. He's a perfect,
Yeah. Beautiful hair, I must admit.
He got beautiful hair, yeah.
We are missing the whole point of the whole main event, which is Theory winning the title.
Look, I'm fine with it. People are pissed off, and that's the point. I don't get why people are so angry that he won. That him winning is supposed to elicit the anger against Theory because he's a heel.
Yeah. Nothing against him. Like I think he's a great winner. But again, I don't see him cashing the title or Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar.
See, that's my issue with it. In that he doesn't really have sort of a proper connection with any of these people.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind him holding the title for a year. Like he can be the guy that holds it for a long time and don't cash it in so soon. Like wait for the right moment. Like he could be the guy that ends Roman Reigns' title reign, even though it sounds super cheap. But if you do it in the right scenario, like really opportunistic way, he could.
Maybe like what, Rumble? Like
very interesting. Yeah, but very interesting statistic though. I wanted to share one more thing.
Yeah,
he has up until September to become the youngest world champion ever, beating Randy Orton's record.
Oh, so you know that they're gonna play that. Get that whole thing into play.
He turns 25 in September, so if he does it before he turns 25, then he beats Randy's record.
Okay, so the logic moving forward is, and if they do go with that logic, right, he must cash in at SummerSlam because that makes the most sense. They're going to do the last man standing. They're going to be killing each other. They're going to be most vulnerable, right?
Yeah, and SummerSlam is essentially in a way almost 2 years to the day that Roman Reigns holds the title. I don't see Roman holding the title any longer. I don't think he can hold it all the way to WrestleMania for The Rock, in my opinion.
Right, but so the whole idea and the rumor is that Cena is gonna face Theory at SummerSlam. I mean, it could be the literally opener, and then Theory comes back at the end to cash in, right?
Yep. And I think what better way to have the title off of Roman while he relax and do his part-time schedule than Theory winning and pissing off everyone, and everyone rooting for Cena to win his 17th title by beating Theory.
Okay. So what?
Mm.
Cena stays after SummerSlam?
Oh, Cena does one more match after SummerSlam lah.
Right,
And
right.
do the Rock schedule, win the title, go do his Hollywood stuff, then come back for WrestleMania. But again, holding the title hostage lah.
Wait. So that means Cena as champion all the way to WrestleMania, Cena versus Theory at WrestleMania, or Cena versus somebody else?
So my thinking, how I will book it is like, okay, Cena Theory straight up match, right?
Yeah.
With Theory holding the Money in the Bank, starting off of SummerSlam, which you said as well.
Yeah.
Then the whole one more time, Roman versus Brock. At the end of the match, Theory comes and like screws it, and he wins. He steals the title, right?
Yeah.
So while everyone is chasing the title, Roman Reigns chases the title, Brock Lesnar, he survives.
Hold on. Who wins the title? Is it Brock or Roman?
Theory can screw it in the middle of the match and win the title.
Make it a triple threat like what Seth did, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heist of the Century Part 2 lah. Why not?
Yeah.
So the rest of the summer going into the winter is him trying to keep the title while like the Bloodline hunts him down, while the Beast hunts him down. I think that would make a great storyline.
Sure.
And then maybe Royal Rumble, Cena comes in. Cena challenges Theory for WrestleMania for the title.
Okay.
But like everyone wants Roman Reigns and The Rock, right, to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's a big enough dream match to not be the main, to not be for the title.
Yeah,
because I don't see The Rock winning the title from Roman Reigns. Like, there's no point.
Actually, it makes it harder. It makes it harder to book the match if it is a title on the line, right? So yeah, you're absolutely right. If it's Roman versus The Rock, you don't know who's going to win because there's no title on the line.
Yeah, and Roman The Rock can still main event that WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But having a Cena versus Theory gives another big moment that is not as big as Roman versus Rock. But imagine Cena wins his 17th title.
Yep. There's another, and WWE loves history-making moments.
Yeah. And it also gives the biggest rub ever for Theory because he's in a WrestleMania match with his hero.
Yeah.
And if he gives even a bit of a competitive match, all eyes will be on him to be like, okay, this guy is the next star.
Yeah. Well, and it seems like they want to strap the rocket boosters to him. So then Roman versus Rock, or Roman versus Cody if Rock falls through. See, that's the rumor, right? That Roman versus Cody would be like the backup plan.
Yeah. So I do not know whether Cody will return in time for WrestleMania or Royal Rumble. But if he does, then that changes the permutations of what I just said.
Yeah. But what if John Cena wins the Rumble and then uses that to go up against Theory? If Cena wins the Rumble, I have a feeling the crowd will boo.
Cena winning the Rumble makes him a 3-time Rumble winner, tying with Stone Cold, bro.
Yeah, but it would be super annoying that this, the part-timer, I think the internet fans would turn.
Yeah, because Brock already won this year.
Yeah.
It would be tough. But like, I prefer what I'm going with, where Theory and Cena literally just fight for like over the title and that's it, straight up. Again, they need to separate the titles. The Undisputed title a bit tough, bro.
Yeah. Like there's a lot hanging on one person, but it seems like they're very, very okay with it. Just going by the past few pay-per-views, they use the gimmick as the main event as opposed to the titles as like the main event.
Understood. Well, I'm fine with what's going on, but SummerSlam is just around the corner. Weird date though. It's like 31st July. It's usually August.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's end of July, so it's happening rather soon. So they had to start building up for it.
Is it a booking issue? Also, 1 week before it, I believe it's Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor.
Yes, correct. And their Castle Glass match or whatever, the pay-per-view in the UK, that is in September. So the whole month of August, no pay-per-view from WWE.
Okay. Oh, the Glasgow one, Clash at the Castle, you mean?
Yeah. That whole Drew McIntyre challenge Roman Reigns thing.
Yeah, that one is out. Yeah, that one. We know that he's not going to win, lah. Unfortunately for Drew, it's just because he's in the UK. So let's put the UK guy in the front. We know he's not going to fucking win.
Yeah, unfortunately for Drew. But yeah, that's our early predictions for SummerSlam, and that's our thoughts on, I guess, Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Overall, what do you think?
Yeah. Overall, I would give it a 5.5 out of 10. Like
Uh,
barely passed, barely passed. There wasn't anything that was egregiously bad other than the fact that Ronda versus Natalia was boring AF.
yeah. What about the listeners? What would you grade it, like out of 10, or like
Yes,
your
chat,
alphabet grades?
chat, jump in right now. Tell us how Money in the Bank. Did you even watch Money in the Bank? Sekali, people didn't watch. Hales, good to see you as well. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, let us know what your Money in the Bank score was. Like I said, 5.5 out of 10. What about you, Foreign?
Here's the thing. I'm trying to remember what I graded Hell in a Cell. Because Hell in a Cell was like all like a bit nothing, but then the main event was like an amazing match, right?
Yeah.
This one was like just consistently like not bad, not good.
Yeah.
But very newsworthy. So it's not about match quality. The only match quality that I really enjoyed was like the Usos and Street Profits.
Sure.
But even then, it's also tainted because like you've seen the match so many times.
Yeah. Zayden says, good that it was a short pay-per-view. I agree. I am a bit tired of the 5-hour, 4.5 pay-per-views. Like, unless it's a Royal Rumble, unless it's a WrestleMania Survivor Series or SummerSlam, just chill. Just give me 2.5 hours. I'm good.
Yeah. So there was
Or 3.
like it was short and sweet lah. So I would give it like a 6.
Okay. Toverkin says, didn't care upon 10.
That's a good one, bro. Okay, as much as we had issues with Forbidden Door, I enjoyed Forbidden Door more, in my opinion. My humble opinion.
I would agree with that, but it's in the same way that I enjoy like a big clusterfuck of a movie. Like it's like watching a Transformers movie. Just too much robot violence to a point where it's like, okay, like whatever, like just, at least there's something happening versus like a very boring sitcom, which is what WWE is.
Yeah, but you don't mind paying the price of admission for the ticket because you know that no matter how much overload it was, it was still worth the price of admission somehow.
Sure. Sensory overload versus no sensory. Humdrum. To be fair, okay lah, they are picking things up over the WWE, so we'll see, in the next couple of weeks how they lead up to SummerSlam.
I mean, SummerSlam always delivers to a certain extent. You always put in more effort. So, look forward to WWE's, product getting slightly better, I guess, in the next couple of weeks.
Slightly better, but of course you have to remember there's still a 3-hour Raw they need to fill with rubbish in between.
Yeah, so, we shall see. We shall.
Okay, one more thing we need to get to, and that is the big signing from the WWE. Logan Paul has signed his contract with the WWE, and I believe the wording was like he's going to work several dates. So this is not like a 2-year contract, 5-year contract. He's on a part-time schedule. Obviously, he's a celebrity, right?
Yeah, I mean multi-year as well, so he will probably appear. He's like, I think probably do what Bad Bunny did lah, essentially.
Yeah. Okay, the way that they are selling this, and again, this goes back to the whole. It seems like WWE is treating all their celebrities as faces, right? Logan Paul very clearly is heel. So easy to hate, but he's coming in. He's probably going to work a program against The Miz.
Yeah. WWE. I don't think this is WWE's decision though.
So you think it's Logan Paul?
Yeah. No, he is Logan Paul because I've listened to his podcast. He said it up front to like Becky Lynch, or I think he had Becky Lynch on his show during WrestleMania. He was saying that I don't want to be a heel. I want to be a babyface in WWE.
Wow.
So I think WWE have to layan or entertain his request.
See, but okay, here's the thing, right? Like, he needs to understand too, and I don't know if he's a lifelong fan, but starting off as a babyface right off the bat is going to be super tough, right? He has natural heel tendencies, the way he acts, his reputation especially. His fan base is very much younger, who probably aren't into the WWE product, right? So WWE is trying to bank on him to pull in that audience, but the existing viewers are going to hate him. Guaranteed. So how you're already fighting an uphill battle to begin with. So why not start him as heel? Let him get the respect. If there's anything that the WWE audience or us wrestling fans is, you can earn our respect being such a good heel that you become a face. You see why I'm going with that?
Yeah, I completely understand. I completely agree. That's why a lot of it rests on The Miz. If there's anyone that can make you hate someone long enough or strong enough that Logan Paul will be the babyface is the Miz lah, unfortunately.
But the problem is we've seen it happen before that the Miz tries so hard to be a heel that he turns into the face.
Like anything the Miz might say might get a cheer.
Yeah, and I think there's a very strong possibility of that as well because Logan Paul just has a very, very bad reputation. And people are going to be like, oh, who is this outsider, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, Bad Bunny was a different story. I think Bad Bunny, because he's already he does have a reputation for pissing people off or doing stupid shit, right?
Yeah. Very interestingly, I was like looking at quotes. Do you see this quote by some indie guy who was saying that the indie wrestlers who are pissed off by Logan Paul are not as athletic, not as good looking, not as in shape as Logan Paul. So
this was shared on our Discord, and thank you so much. I think it was Irvin who shared it, right? But somebody shared it on our Discord. Join us on the Discord for more wrestling chats and conversations, by the way. The link is in the description. But yeah, exactly. You're right. The quote is something along the lines of, why are these indie kids getting all upset that Logan Paul got signed when he's famous, he looks good, he is athletic, he is in shape. And all these indie guys with shitty bodies are like, ooh, throwing themselves off ladders and shit like that. Why are they not getting... Duh!
No offense, he's more in shape than Adam Cole right now at this point in time.
No, he's more in shape than most of the AEW roster. What are you talking about?
He definitely more in shape than Brody King or John Moxley.
Okay, that one different lah. That one, that's their whole gimmick, that's their vibe. But yeah, like Logan Paul looks like he won't break himself in half.
Yeah. And if you watch his WrestleMania match, he can perform.
Yeah.
He is a natural athlete. He knows how to entertain an audience, clearly.
That is the key thing. The wrestling can train. The sort of like, the vibe, the X factor, the it factor. He obviously has it. He already has a huge following. So are we surprised?
No, not surprised. You know what? I'm actually really for deciding. Even though a lot of people say, oh, this spits at all the traditionalists and all that kind of shit. But my opinion is like, WWE, you want to stay current. You want to still connect and still be considered cool. You need to get people who are box office numbers right now. Like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, they sell out all their boxing matches, right?
And that's the other thing. They legit have combat sports experience. It's not like they are only YouTubers, They were actual boxers and they did... Logan Paul win his match?
Logan Paul went toe-to-toe with Mayweather, what?
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So there is some legitimacy to him. He's not just some he just makes content and that's it. So, yeah.
So maybe 4 years ago, Logan Paul, maybe not. But at least Logan Paul have done boxing, done a bit of training. I think, for sure.
Yeah. And then imagine he brings in his brother as well.
His brother also another one. People also hate that fella.
Yeah, but then, if he comes in, he will be a face. WWE is talking. And at some point after they are done with the Logan Paul run, you got to bring in the brother, ma.
Yeah.
And then...
I know absolutely what's going on with WWE's head. Because again, I checked out his podcast, right? He seems to be really passionate about this. Because he said, right, when he performed at WrestleMania, he started to understand why is this so addictive? Why is this such a great form of entertainment? He said that he knows that if WWE lets him be him and lets him go along with his ideas, he can take WWE to mainstream, to what it's cool nowadays.
That is a bit scary. His ideas, like okay, you might have your ideas, but will it work in the context of wrestling? We'll have to wait and see. Maybe he is in on something. The fact that he's coming in as a face, though, I feel like could be a mistake.
Yeah. Then again, Vince Russo was allowed to run free reign on WWE, and for better or for worse. So I'm not saying that give free reign to Logan Paul. Yeah. What I'm saying is like WWE is so stale. WWE is lacking in original content, lacking in ideas. Bring in someone who's fresh, who is legitimately like popular and has a following, and let him give some ideas on because I can tell from the way he's looking at it, right? He is coming in humble and willing to work.
Okay.
So he's not like coming for a payday and I'm better than everyone.
And gone are the days of, you have to work your way through the industry. No. WWE is a straight up media conglomerate business where it's about, if you can bring in the views and the eyeballs, okay, you're going to get a main event spot.
Yeah. And honestly, that's the only way for WWE to be popular, because like
Yeah.
relying on creating stars, they can't do it right now.
No, they can't do it right now. And also, the product is not as hot as it once was. And,
Yeah.
you look at, on the flip side, AEW just throwing everything out there, but their numbers, their ratings have remained the same. It's that core audience that is watching. You're not bringing in new people. You are creating stars, but within the wrestling ecosystem, the bubble, right? WWE wants to break that bubble. They've always said this: we are entertainment company, thus WWE.
Yeah. You see, why does boxing, right? No matter they are historically, they don't have a core audience. I mean, their audience is very small, even smaller than WWE. But why every time boxing, if they promote it well, they do box office pay-per-view buys. People actually will want to watch them. It's because they make the athletes into mega stars, right? Yeah, so WWE doesn't have the ability to do that. They have to rely on other mega stars that is existing. I tell you, bro, Conor will be the next one.
Oh
for
my!
sure.
Conor McGregor
Conor McGregor and Becky Lynch.
and Finn Balor, the Irish mob.
I tell you, that's because that is WWE essentially, because Tyson Fury and Drew McIntyre are supposed to do a thing. Tyson Fury was one of the biggest stars. So
Bro, no more Tyson
over,
Fury, bro. No more. I'm done with that shit.
To be fair, he had that one-off match. He was against Braun Strowman. I mean, it's not really the best person to work with.
Yeah,
Come on.
I guess. Okay. Irvin says, actually, if y'all got kids, how would you intro them in the WWE? Intro them as in what? To become wrestlers or to watch the product?
To become wrestling fans, I'm assuming.
Honestly, I would just get them to watch UFC and not have
No.
them. I'm sorry, but if I had kids, first of all, more importantly, they would watch Disney Plus and Marvel stuff. That's more important than the WWE. I'm sorry, but that is, I guess, I would rather than watch WWE than AEW. Family-friendly product.
That's true. You know what? I would have, the PG era of WWE, I would have let them watch like John Cena on top all the time.
Hustle, loyalty, respect. I mean, okay.
Yeah. But now WWE now okay, very tough lah, bro, because I don't know which show that they can sit through.
No, yeah, and that's the thing, right? To watch, it's like, why would I subject my, as it is, and real talk, if not for this podcast, I wouldn't be putting myself through Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Rampage, Dynamite. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would just pick and choose whatever, sounded cool. Maybe I'll watch it a bit. I would probably spend more time watching UFC, playing my video games, and watching Netflix shows.
Yeah. And I believe a lot of the listeners here as well on the podcast wouldn't be watching WWE as religiously if they didn't have the podcast to talk with and interact, which we appreciate, because I feel like we created this community like very organically. But again, to become a wrestling fan, I would introduce them to the classics, bro. I know it's a bit raunchy, but I would sit my 4-year-old through like an episode of like 2002 SmackDown, or like
so how are you going to explain when the wife comes in and it's Edge and Lita having a live sex show on Raw?
Bro, okay, if anything Tori Wilson or Stacey Keibler, I will just fast forward lah. Those are my girls.
Yeah. So you bookmark for yourself, is it, for later?
Bro, I don't need to. I know every single Tori Wilson movement.
Oh shit!
She was like my Alexa Bliss of my generation.
Okay.
But I think it would be the classics lah. Like I would definitely. I do not know how I'm gonna make my 3-year-old watch Bret Hart matches. I don't know how.
No, that would be tough. Yeah. Just show them John Cena, but we can't see him.
Yeah, John Cena. Honestly, like as much as we shit on John Cena when we were growing up, I feel like his influence is the reason why WWE still have so many fans until now.
Yeah, the kids. He is a kid-friendly product, and as much as we are like turn him heel, he can't do it because he's literally the company's spokesman, and he's like the nicest guy. He does Make-A-Wish, he's the top wish granter. Can you imagine they turn him heel? They can't. At this point, it is absolutely impossible.
Not
ever. He has surpassed Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Of course, because Hulk Hogan have so many controversies. So.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And this guy is literally like, he is not spotless, but he is the kind of guy that you can put your company's reputation on.
The closest we can see John Cena turning heel is probably his like Firefly Funhouse match where they highlight his flaws, kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
no, not in 2022. Maybe during the Attitude Era, he could have turned heel.
Yeah.
But at this point, the way that the business is run, he's way too corporate. He sells too much merchandise being a good guy, and his reputation as a movie star, Hollywood guy, wish granted, he cannot turn heel.
If I had to watch today's product with a kid, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, I'll probably put him with RK Bro.
Oh my! What? So that you can smoke weed
So
every day?
here's the part that will entertain both me and my kid. My kid will love the colorful snake like t-shirts, and like Randy and Riddle being like slow and like, hey Randy here, like that will be entertaining for the kids.
Bro.
Yeah, bro. But me, I'll enjoy all the drug references lah.
Meanwhile, you know what their product is that they're trying to appeal to the kids with? NXT 2.0 with toxic attraction.
No, that is not for the kids. That is not for the kids at all.
That was for teenagers.
My kids will probably enjoy Ezekiel and Elias for sure.
Yeah, probably. This is like nonsense stuff.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, there are certain pockets, but again, you need to find what works for you regardless of the generation, right?
Yeah. Meanwhile, John Moxley is on the other channel talking about drinking people's blood and bleeding everywhere, and I'm like, yeah, no kids are watching this.
It's no surprise that the most like popular YouTube like videos on wrestling is like all Randy Orton and John Cena matches. If you go Google it,
is it okay?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Wow, we are really projecting ourselves in the future, talking about our kids and everything, bro.
Hey, whoa! I mean,
hey, it will happen. It may or may not happen, but I'm sure that's in the plans. You know what else might be in the plans? Getting your own property. So if you need to buy, you need to sell, you need to rent, ! Sponsor. Go check out Nick Matt, everybody.
Yeah, I love the segment. Guys, he is supporting the podcast. He's helping the podcast keep running. So please show your support for him as well.
Absolutely.
Follow him on IG, bro.
Yeah, all his links are in the link tree. Link that should pop up in your chat in just a few seconds. But if you ever need to do anything property related with him, just go and send him a message on WhatsApp via that code, the QR code you see on your screen. Screenshot it or use your phone to, you know how to use the QR code. But yeah, there you go. There's his link.
Yeah. Okay, so I got some sad news to tell everyone. So this is gonna be like the last live episode for at least a couple of weeks. At least 2 weeks, right? Because I'm booking in this Friday, so I'll be away all the way until 22nd July.
Yeah, gotta serve the nation, bro.
Yes, I gotta serve the nation. But very interestingly, the day that I book out, SPW has a show coming up, right?
Yeah, that I'm so like bummed out about that because I'm also working on that day, so I can't be there.
Yes, but don't worry, it's all good. There is a chance that we might get one of you guys to be our representative.
Okay, very good. I like the sounds of that.
Yes. Wow. So closer to the date, we'll probably announce. But maybe we do a giveaway, maybe we do a ticket giveaway, but whoever wants to go on our behalf and cover the show, you're more than welcome to be part of the podcast the week after. We can talk all about SPW once I'm back as well.
There you go. Yeah. So while Foreign is doing that, I'll be at the Istana hosting the SAF Day appreciation dinner and all that kind of stuff. Yes. But there will be more Kick to the Gut content, okay? Because the next episode, it'll be a different day and time, okay? So instead of like every single Monday, we are actually going to be talking to the Eurasian Dragon.
Woo! So this is an early preview, guys, because as you guys know, Eurasian Dragon recently founded a third wrestling promotion, Ring of Rebirth, right?
Yeah.
And they're actually holding their first event, even though it's a closed door event, but they're actually holding their first event this Saturday.
That's right. It's a closed door event. So we'll find out more about what is the idea behind Ring of Rebirth, who some of their new guys are. They have some very interesting new guys, trust me. And we'll talk to the guy, and you can expect to see that video sometime this week on Thursday. So that will replace next Monday's show, basically.
Yeah, the reason why we won't be on Monday, because other than me being in camp, is Hari Raya Haji this weekend.
That's right. So everybody go and do your celebrations, do what you need to do. Take a bit of a small break from wrestling. Everyone can always use a break from the current scene.
From the current things. So this coming episode will be on Thursday.
Mhm.
So it will be earlier from like a great start to your long weekend. So you can go
That's
watch
right.
that episode. The next episode, no guarantees whether I can come on the 18th Monday. That's the 18th July Monday, right?
Yep.
But if I get to book out, then the weekend will probably pre-record an episode. So whatever is going on, then
Yep.
we can talk about wrestling in
Hope-
2 weeks from now.
Hopefully nothing happens, but we all know the wrestling news cycle. Somebody will say something stupid. Somebody will do something stupid.
Yeah.
Confirm.
Someone's gonna get fired. Someone's gonna sexually harass someone. You never know.
We hope not, but unfortunately, that's always the case. So,
Yeah.
one more thing before we get out of here, okay? Other than go check out Nick Mart, our sponsor. The contest that we ran on our Instagram page, Dante Chen asking you to come up with a name for his female character in WWE 2K22 My Rise. If you haven't checked out our interview with him, it's in our YouTube and of course on our Spotify as well. So go check out our chat with Singapore's very own Dante Chen. But we
Yes.
will announce those results. In fact, Dante himself will announce the winners, each winning a copy of WWE 2K22, the video game, on whatever platform they choose, sometime this week.
Yeah, Foreign got a scoop for you, Mr. Young.
Scoop! Okay, come, give me
Yeah,
scoop.
so of course, like, I've been in contact with our WWE superstar here all the way in Orlando, asking him about, like, bro, can you put up a video or
Sure.
help us announce the winners whenever you can, right? So for those who didn't watch the episode, please watch it, right, last week. But he told me that he wanted, I said, whether can you give us the results today or not, so that we can put it on today's podcast. But he said, I can't, not that I can't, I can, but I don't want to do it like a normal way, just send you a video record from his house. He wants to record it and announce it live at the Performance Center.
Bro, okay. I eagerly anticipate this video. And of course, stick to our socials. We will announce that very, very soon.
Yes. For sure.
Okay,
So that will
okay.
be fun. That will be fun. So look out. Stay tuned to our Kick to the Gut Instagram for all the news and when we announce the winners. And please watch back the interview that we had. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview because apparently some people say it's a bit too much WWE 2K related. But hey, we got an interview. We try to sneak in as many questions as we can. So I hope you guys still enjoy it overall.
That's right. Jason, one last thing to slide in. MJF returns after Foreign book out.
Wow. I hope he don't return the day I'm still in camps. I'll be damn pissed off, yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Will we see Daddy Triple H? Wait, what?
Daddy, you want to Caesar him or what?
What's going on? What is this, Daddy? Doesn't he already have kids? Like, Daddy Triple H, where? I don't understand that question. Anyway, it's time for us to get out of here.
Yes, it is. It is time. It's 2.5 hours. I think it's time for you guys to enjoy the rest of your Monday. And we will see you guys soon this Thursday. So catch up on our episode with the Eurasian Dragon soon.
We are always on our Discord channel as well. So join the Discord if you haven't already. The link is in the description. If you're listening to the audio, the link is also in the description.
Yes, for sure.
So, we will see you guys soon. In the meantime, please stay safe, take care of yourselves. It's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Have a great week ahead.
Kick to the gut. I like it.